Caden Honeycutt, Lane Riggs. It's a moment we have been waiting for. Green flag is in the air, side by side they go. We are racing at Naval Base Coronado, guys.
Well, this is the part we've all been waiting for, and you see Lane Riggs right there really sideways off the corner. That second groove is not clean. They've only cleaned the preferred groove in all these corners, so you have no choice right now but to run in that dirty lane to clean it up.
You can see all the dust flying as they headed down toward turn 1 and 2, slipping and sliding. You're going to see that all day long. These trucks on a perfect lap are sideways just about every corner.
Well, since we had practice and qualifying for the truckers, the O'Reilly Series was on, and so was the Cup cars. We have a nice battle up front. Lane Riggs trying to take the lead for Caden Honeycutt.
Going to be on the outside here as they make one of those 10 lefts we talked about. Good corner there for Caden. Held off Lane.
Yeah, and you'll head down this back straightaway here. A lot of speed down this back straightaway. You see how rough it is. A lot of speed heading into turn 6, a sharp right-hander.
We have been talking about these two drivers at the front all season, swapping the points lead. Right now, Lane Riggs right there in the 34 is our point leader. He won the street race at St. Pete, but our last road course winner was the guy leading right now, Watkins Glen. That's Caden Honeycutt.
And in third place, the 7-time champion, Jimmy Johnson is on the gas up to third early. This has got to feel great for Jimmy to be out there and be that fast.
Yeah, and that's why he's here, right? He grew up around this area, and to be able to come to this base and sit in that truck and be competitive. He's been out there in his Cup car in practice, but he's been very competitive throughout all the both practices today, the few laps that we had in practice 2, the qualifying session, and now you see him with that track position up front. And I predict that he will get better and better as this race goes on, as he gets more comfortable.
That's bad news for the competition as we swing through turns 12, 12A and B. They're working our way back toward the front straightaway. A lot of tight racing through this area. And we saw a lot of action through 15 here earlier today. Then we get loose up there in 14, hit the wall off 15, so we'll keep our eye on that.
And they head off down into the chicane right here. This whole section in this chicane, as you see them all mostly single file, one truck out of line. This whole section was repaved just for this race. Very technical section as you go into here. Want to be right those tire barriers, but a lot of work to this racetrack to get it ready for these races.
You can see this 4th truck in line there, Chandler Smith. He's just as fast every week as Honeycutt and Riggs. Expect him to charge up there and be a part of this story today. He's in that black Hard Rock truck.
Look at all the different track surfaces these drivers are dealing with. They got new concrete, new asphalt, old asphalt, normal streets. We're definitely not going 25 miles an hour.
We've even got train tracks around here.
That's right.
There's a lot going on out there, Jamie. You nailed it.
On the
right there is those tracks right there, and that's what they use to load those carriers right out there. You saw the USS Carl Vinson right there. What a backdrop for a racetrack.
Head off into turn 5. You want to keep that truck right next to that wall.
I think Riggs is a little bit better than Caden right now. We heard Lane talking earlier today. He said, we've got the best race truck, and he's putting a lot of pressure on our leader here. This is cool. Check out his feet. Watch his hands and feet. He's going crazy in there with all the movement.
Yeah, and watch his head too, and you'll be able to tell just how rough this racetrack is as we're on board with our Ford Racing camera here. We think that Lane is a little bit better, but one thing that the driver's busy doing, you watch his left foot right there on that brake pedal. You see it go up and down, modulating that brake pressure, and that's something that you got to do not only for the speed, but as you go over the bumps, trying to keep those rear tires from what we call wheel hopping into these corners when you have all the bumps. See him pump the brake one time right there just to make sure that brake pedal's nice and solid as he gets off into turn 12.
And you know, the beautiful thing is...
Oh, we got a pass.
Oh, he couldn't quite get there. The beautiful thing is how much he's using those feet. Watch his right foot on that gas pedal. It's not an on-off switch. He's got to modulate it. He's got to work it. And we'll even see trucks coming off the corner, going straight and leaving rubber behind where their Goodyear tires are spinning.
And you want control of this race. Anything that you can do to take advantage of your truck's speed at this point to be able to get the lead and try to control the race, because there is going to be some fall off. There's going to be some tire fall off. We saw a lot of tire wear as they go back down onto the front straightaway to cross the start-finish line. So if you have the capability to pass that 11 truck of Caden Honeycutt, you want to take advantage of that as soon as you can in order to set the pace, get the clean air, on the brakes on the front of the truck, and he's going to go for it right here.
Here it is. Lane Riggs looking to the inside. What a battle, side by side. Can't make it stick just yet.
Wow, aggressive driving. You nailed it, Kevin. Him wanting that lead, wanting to take control of this race. I think he's going to be able to pull away. A lot of speed in that 34.
New leader. Lane Riggs out front over Caden Honeycutt. Jimmy Johnson, guys, keeping him in his sights, though.
Yeah, and the more these guys race, the less Jimmy is going to have to do to keep up. Now that Lane has got that track position in the lead, we'll see what that pace is and if he can stretch that out over Honeycutt. And on the flip side of that, Honeycutt's going to have to learn, okay, what is that 34 truck doing better than mine that I need to either adjust my driving style or tell my team that my truck needs to do better.
And, you know, we talk about how crazy this racetrack is. Our pulse hitter, Caden Honeycutt, he hit the wall during his qualifying laps. Even when you do everything perfectly, you're right there on the edge of control.
Well, look at the right rear on that 34 truck. It's got duct tape all down the side of it, putting those seams back together where he's had some contact as well. So the one thing that I notice right now, like getting into the corners, you see Honeycutt is a little shallower than Lane Riggs in a lot of these corners and gets that angle wrong through the middle of the corner where it allows Lane to kind of roll a little bit better through the center to the exit of the corner and put that throttle down as he's going straight. But you can see all these corners, the 11 is just a little shallower on his turn in compared to the 34.
That turn 12 complex, left, right, just very, very technical part of this racetrack. And Lane Riggs is just laying down the rubber on this road.
These two have been battling tooth and nail week in and week out. They know each other's driving style. A lot of times they know their strengths and their weaknesses. As you see it here, how the season has been shaping up. I mean, neck and neck, except for Lane Riggs. He's been able to win 3 different times. Caden Honeycutt got his first career win a few weeks ago. But you see the points earned. It's close in the standings, but it's those extra wins for Lane Riggs. The 26 goes around. That's Dawson Sutton.
See the black marks. He slid just short of the wall there. Truck's probably struggling to get it refired. Gets that thing going again, we can stay under green.
I want to give a shout out to all these teams and all the patriotic paint schemes, guys. They did a great job. You see the 76, that's Nathan Nicholson with some damage.
He's a road racer. Talked to Nathan yesterday. Very optimistic about his chances. Has been really fast when he goes road racing in Spencer Boyd's truck. Looks like he might have had maybe contact with Dawson. Is that what happened?
Well, let's see what happened right here. See the 76 dive in the corner, gets loose, gets into the back of Dawson Sutton, just lost control of that truck getting in to that corner.
Synchronized spinning there. I guess Nicholson was able to keep his engine running. He drove away. Staying green right now.
So caution is out now for that incident.
See Nicholson pull away.
Well, Lane Riggs and Caden Honeycutt can take a little breather.
And so can we. What a start.
Great start. 4 laps in the books. Caden Honeycutt has led 2 of them. Lane Riggs for 2. It's all about the Sailors, and they're getting quite the show here at Naval Base Coronado. 250 years for the Navy, established in October of 1775. Look at this old footage. Incredible what those sailors did. Naval Base, Coronado.
Just the history, the energy around this event, being here on the Naval Base, the sailors. You know, Jamie, we were out on that ship last night. You just can't really put into words the magnitude of the feeling of this event. It's just huge.
Well, there isn't, and we've talked about this before, there's not any other sport that celebrates our military like NASCAR does. And to see NASCAR and the Navy and the whole base here come together to put this event on. I know it took a couple years to put all this into place, but you see a lot of smiling faces, whether it's in the garage or all those sailors sitting there watching this race. This is so out of the ordinary to do something like this. And from the moment that I've walked into this racetrack, it's just been an unbelievable experience. And that says it all right there. This isn't just a race, it's a mission.
Well, this base right here opened in 1917. They have never seen anything like this take over on their base, and it's been so fun to watch the reaction. Well, Amanda is standing by with a very special guest. What's his reaction to all of this?
Oh, yeah, and our three-time funny car champion at the National Hot Rod Association has a big smile on his face, too, hanging out with his top fuel driver, Maddie Gordon, as well. And, Ron, this is like a home race for you in your backyard. How are you enjoying the off weekend?
Well, this is great. Maddie flew down. I picked her up this morning, and she'd never been to a NASCAR race. So to hang out with all the guys, Daniel Hemrick tuning them in. Maddie's getting her first taste on the pit box, so it's a lot of fun. I cannot believe the atmosphere here. This is incredible, as you know. But it's a lot of NHRA fans here as well. So FS1, Fox, we love you guys.
Thank you to Ron Cavs. Jamie, it's an anniversary year for the National Hot Rod Association as well, celebrating 75 years.
Maddie, I'm told that is the future. So good luck to her. Glad to see them here. And Ron Capps, Southern California guy, bringing in new race fans.
A lot of energy there. We talk about how fun it is to be on the base. You go to NHRA race or watch it on FS1, Capps is on the gas and just a great guy that really loves what he gets to do.
On that ship, there isn't a bad seat.
No.
They brought in the grandstands. They're standing on all levels of it.
Kevin, you think we're going to see any action on pit road? I hear talk in the garage area. Some of these teams might pit before the end of the first stage to try to flip the stage, if you will. It's a little early, but there's so many trucks that are in the back because of repairs. If you need any work, this is a great opportunity to do it.
Yeah, well, adjust on your truck, and at a bare minimum, just keep it full of fuel. If you have the thing full of fuel, it gives you more options as you go down the road. You know, as we look at, you know, being at the beginning part of this race, and you just want to create more options for yourself. So if you're in the back, why not? Just get the strategy mixed up and come to pit road and see what happens with the next caution, because you might be able to flip them right after that.
There's the entrance to pit road. You can see most of our front runners, as we expected, are bypassing the trip to the right. But I think some of the guys in the back will take this opportunity to work on their trucks.
Just 4 laps in here. All right, we have some takers from mid-pack. The 81 of Chris Wright. A couple other takers. Yeah, they listen to you guys.
I like this a lot. I mean, you gotta understand how difficult it is to move through all these trucks with all the moving parts and pieces. Just do something different than the competition and give yourself an opportunity to gain track position that way.
Caitlin, looks like some fuel-only options.
Yeah, and Michael, you were talking about teams that are mired in the back. One of them is Gio Ruggiero. He had that damage on the left side from qualifying, so I just talked to his crew chief, Jeff Stankiewicz. He said, Gio telling us the brakes aren't as good as they were earlier, so he said we've just been stuck in traffic, so they are one of the ones electing to pit. Jamie?
Yeah, so some tires there, 4 tires all around for Gio Ruggiero.
Yeah, when you're stuck in traffic, the airflow doesn't get to the brakes quite as good as it does normally, and you're using them harder because of all the trucks you're trying to maneuver around, so that's not unexpected.
All right, so 4 laps in. First caution. And what a beautiful backdrop here at Coronado Island, just across the bridge from downtown San Diego. Picture perfect. Stay with us, so much more racing action to come. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series live from San Diego. The USS Carl Vinson, the Navy, NASCAR had a joint party last night. Over 600 people just mingling about. So proud of everything that everybody has done to come together. Michael, I know you were in awe of what we saw.
Yeah, and this truck race has been something we've anticipated we've been hearing about it for a couple of years, and being here and seeing these guys mixing it up, great racing up front, this is all you go hope for.
All right, caution had come out. Lane Riggs was leading side by side with Caden Honeycutt. Looks just like the initial start. Restart zone, green flag is back in the air.
Pretty even start right there. Honeycutt was able to stay right with Lane Riggs. We're going to go to a right-hand corner right here. You see all the dirt still flying in the air from that line. That's not the preferred line down the straightaway.
Look at those trucks coming off the ground. They're leaning on each other.
Look at Jimmy Johnson trying to pick up a spot over the 38.
Chandler Smith got around Jimmy on the initial restart here. Can he hold on? We expect him to drive up there and be with Caden and Lane. That's where he's been all year long, and he's on his way there. Jimmy Johnson says, not so quick, though. That #1 truck is fast today.
This has got to be so much fun for Jimmy Johnson, who, by the way, is running the Cup car as well, so he got some extra laps in. Look at that battle for third, side by side. Jimmy Johnson, the old Wiley 7-time veteran, Chandler Smith.
How cool is this for Chandler Smith? He's racing with Jimmy Johnson, of all people. He's one of the greatest ever to do this, and Chandler's right there door to door with JJ.
And Jimmy gets the spot. Ty Majeski.
Wheel hopping.
Hang on to it.
That is amazing.
Man.
My goodness.
I cannot believe that they got away with that incident right there. Those rear tires were locked up and hopping along the asphalt right there. Just out of control in that 88.
That's what you call never give up.
Yeah,
He
watch
drove
this
that
right
thing
here,
to
Mike.
the very end. Look at that. Look at his arms in there, whipping that wheel back and forth, and he stays out of the guys he was racing against. That's crazy.
Guys, look at Grant Enfinger in that 9 truck, the red and white, up 1 spot since the initial start, doing a heck of a job up front. He always says, like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where I am when it comes to this kind of racing, but they put together a great truck, great effort so far.
Andres Perez in that 44, great qualifying effort. He's hanging right there as well. As you can see, Connor Mozak in the 7, squeezing his way ahead of LaJoy. Just tight racing here, just inside the top 10.
Yeah, and you see that mid-pack right there, just pure chaos with 2, 3 wide, all the way back through that field as you go back from about 8th place on back.
Landon Lewis, a little damage in qualifying. He's doing a nice job here early. Kevin, you ran a lot at the front. That reminds me of where I spent most of my career, back there in all that mess. It's crazy in the back. It's easier to run up front, isn't it?
It really is, and you hear people talking about fighting for their life all the time back in the middle of the pack. You have to race harder in the middle of the pack. You wind up using up more truck, you wind up with more damage, you take more chances, because it's just so hard to get yourself up towards the front of that pack. But it is tough racing when you're in the middle of the pack like this.
There is great racing throughout. There's the 77 for Justin Marks, guys, that backup truck. We saw that huge hit earlier, even collected a camera. He was a little sore, but he's in that backup truck turning its first laps here.
I think he's got some great speed. Oh, into the wall, just scrubbing it. That no harm, no foul.
Oh, I thought that 52 was going to get into the back of Jamie McMurray right there under that brake zone.
It's wild how different some of these trucks look from when we saw them unload. Completely different wraps because they are, of course, backup trucks.
Cole Butcher in that red truck there trying to gain another spot as that battle for third has been settled with Jimmy Johnson taking the spot, and he's driving away from Chandler Smith.
And Lane Riggs is pulled away by a second over Caden Honeycutt. That's the biggest lead that we've seen yet today.
Look at that big dive there by Ben Rhodes.
Landon Lewis, the 20-year-old back there in the 45. He'll be in this truck now throughout the rest of the season now that Ross Chastain's races are complete. And Kevin, I know you work with this youngster. He had the damage earlier. You showed me a picture. He was actually working on the truck himself.
Yeah, he's actually a really good mechanic, fabricator, knows everything about the truck. So he was fixing his mess up there in the garage earlier.
What about Adam Andretti? Ran 1 lap and put it in the wall. They've moved up 13 spots already. We know he's a great road racer, and he's making some good moves early.
Yeah, you see Justin Haley right there in that Ram pickup truck. going through the chicane.
These trucks are racing right around the 20th position.
I said that wrong. That was actually 12B, Michael. I still get a couple of the chicanes moved up. That one has a number.
A lot of these turns are very tight, but then there's some big sweeping corners as well. But this is when action picks up, when you come into the chicane.
And you really have no choice but to be single file at this point. You see how narrow it is as you enter that chicane. As you go through there, it gets a little bit wider, but that entry is super narrow. As we look back at the lead right here, Lane Riggs is just cruising along out front, he and Caden Honeycutt.
Now, I'm going to look for some strategy here, Jamie. It seems like some of the guys in the pit said around lap 9, they might come to the pit road for service, flip the stage, if you will. So don't be surprised if you see some people decide to take this opportunity. We talked earlier, Kevin, mixing things up, change things up to try to get some track position. We'll see who takes that option and tries to flip this stage.
Well, you're not going to beat the front guys if you just stay on the same strategy. So if you can catch a lucky break and get the cautions to time right, or somebody, these guys stay out on old tires or try to win the stage and stay out, then you have some of the trucks that are going to do the opposite so that they can try to jump them when this stage ends and everybody else has to pit. So we'll see what happens. A lot of options as we get towards the end of this stage.
We're also going to be zeroing in on this fuel mileage as these teams pit. They'll figure out where they're at exactly under race conditions. A lot going on here early.
This is a great battle right here, Michael. For 14th, Tyler Wright from Las Vegas, Corey LaJoie in the 10. Corey, we heard from him earlier. He's like, I don't know what corner number is what, but I am having fun. I cannot believe we're racing here.
Well, it made me feel a lot better because I'm still a little bit confused about which corner that they are in. And when Corey said that, I was like, well, I don't feel so bad. You're driving, bud.
Just great racing as these guys twist and turn through this naval base. There's LaJoie in that blue Ram. Right behind him is Tyler Wright, 42.
Michael, I'm hearing a couple trucks are planning to flip the stage. The 75, Parker Kligerman, the 88.
You talked about Corey LaJoie. Parker Kligerman is living the life, isn't he? He just is so ecstatic about this truck and the speed that it has in it, the 75. And then he's on TV telling the world what's going on there as well. So when you're a racer and you get to do all this stuff, it's just special.
So fun to hear from him too, and just his perspective. He's part-time obviously in this series, but he's doing it with a little team, Henderson Motorsports. He's won with them. He's won on a road course and certainly looking for another few starts as we see him making his way down pit road. He's coming your way, Amanda.
Yeah, it was an early call for them. Michael, you were right on it. It was going to be lap number 9, and they just told Parker Kligerman, don't speed. A lot to lose out here. You'll see that team getting off the left tires on this truck. It'll be 4 tires per as they go on, Caitlin.
Yeah, taking a look at Connor Mozak. Earlier on the radio, he said he heard a pop in the brake pedal. And remember, this was one of the trucks that had significant damage from practice. The 88 at Ty Majeski there on the right side of your screen. 3 straight finishes outside the top 10, but he told me earlier he believes this is a racetrack he could get things moving in the right direction and gain some points.
Yeah, you see some messy pit stops right there. You saw the jack go down on Parker Kligerman's truck. So honestly, they're lucky that it's under green and it wasn't under caution, because they're going to lose less spots than they would have if it was under that caution.
See the 13 truck there of Cole Butcher taking this take advantage of this opportunity to flip this stage. Andretti in the 5, him as well.
Connor Mozak.
And the other thing to think about is, like we talked earlier with the fuel can, right? Like, these pit stops are backwards from the way that they normally perform them. So it can be a little bit difficult to be as smooth as you normally would be with the truck going the right direction on the ovals and the way that we normally pit these pit stops.
Lane's got things under control, but one slip, you can see Honeycutt's running just maybe a couple tenths of lap time off of Lane, so a lot of speed still in the 11. And Kevin, what I love, these guys are experienced. They understand what they need to go faster. They're going to report to their crew chief what's wrong with the truck. How can you make it faster for me? That's where communication and that situation of driver, crew chief, knowing each other's tendencies really comes in handy.
Yeah, and the other thing about being up front like these two guys are right now, I know that Caden wants to be up there leading the race, but Lane Riggs, you're able to be you get the clean air on the nose and the brakes and everything that goes with being first, but you also get to set your pace and try not to spin the tires. Take care of the tire. Whoa! Oh, see that whole truck jump off the ground right there, going down into turn 2.
I got to tell you, I'm old, but when I see that, it makes me want to hop in one of those trucks. That just looks fun to me. Let's jump some humps. Let's make some lefts and rights and have a good time.
But it's kind of the opposite for me, Mike, because when I've done that and jumped those cars like on the street courses and stuff, it's pretty jarring on your back. So this is a pretty good jump right here.
Look at that, all 4 tires off the ground. That is awesome.
We were watching or looking at videos and pictures before we came on the air, and they had so many of these shots. The photographers know where to be, the best spots to get that airtime. Nice battle here for Andres Perez. Tyler Ankrum trying to pick up that spot.
Yeah, good speed. That's a battle for 6. So Ankrum in the 18. He's got that thing rolling today.
Perez, one happy driver today from Mexico City, Mexico. Watched the World Cup and watched Mexico win last night right here in San Diego. He was watching it with a bunch of friends and family. Came out, had a great qualifying effort. Almost destroyed the truck, but he was able to hang on.
A lot of watch parties here.
And he's watching his rearview mirror right now. The 99 of Ben Rhodes trying to pick up his spot around Perez as well for 7th.
I like that 99 truck. He's got good speed early. We'll keep our eye on him.
See Jamie McMurray, he's got a lot of clear track in front of him right now. He's running 18th, just logging laps. And I think as Jamie runs, he's just going to get more and more comfortable. You could tell how uncomfortable he was when we started practice, just trying to get up to speed. Probably, I don't know that he's ever raced on a street course, to be perfectly honest with you. So it can be very intimidating, and it's no joke racing against these guys that do this on a weekly basis. To get that last couple tenths out of the truck and be comfortable sliding it around and doing all the things that you need to do on an oval is one thing, but on a street course where the mistakes, as we saw with all 16 of those that had to go to the back of the field, you see Gio Ruggiero go by McMurray right here. We saw him pit and get those fresher tires, but Jamie still working on getting up to speed and doing the things that he needs to do to just get better every lap. And I think a lot of that, and he knows this as well as anybody, just finish the race. If you can finish the race and be there by the time that stage 3 rolls around with the truck still rolling, you'll at least be in the mix.
You know, that's what I tell folks all the time that tune in to watch a truck race. How good are these truckers? 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson, he can't match the pace of Lane Riggs, Caden Honeycutt. Jamie Murray's won major crown jewel races, and he's running outside the top 15. That's how good our regular truckers are.
Look at Lane Riggs out front, guys. He's extended that lead by over 4.5 seconds. He is on rails. Let's check in with Caitlin.
Yeah, guys, just one thing to be mindful of. Noticing some cording here on the right front tire that just came off of the Connor Mozak truck.
Yeah, we were worried about that, Jamie. Talked to some of the crew chiefs. They said they thought that would improve, but you can see there's the cording Caitlin was speaking of. That could have to do with setup a little bit too, couldn't it, Kevin?
Yeah, and you know, you see, we saw some of this across the other series as well with some of the cording. That one's in a specific spot though, so could also be a wheel lockup that caused that cording. But we know that there's going to be some tire wear. We don't know exactly how long these tires are going to last because of the fact that we didn't get a lot of practice. The most laps that we saw was 11 or 12 laps. Even in that first session when it was broke up a little bit. So we haven't seen consecutive laps run like we're seeing right now for most of these trucks.
Leaving turn 12 area, Lane Riggs, and you can see how he's opened it up there versus Caden, and Jimmy Johnson's closing in on Caden Honeycutt.
Final lap of stage 1, guys. Lane Riggs is just cruising, 5.5 seconds out front. Couple more turns. You'll see the green and white checkered flag in the air. And Lane Riggs picks up his 5th stage win of 2026, his 2nd on a road course. He's figured out how to road course race.
He has done a very good job.
Well done. Well, guys, this week we lost a good one, a staple in the NASCAR garage for decades. Just one of those distinguished journalist that we all looked up to. Incredible work in 2019, honored with the Squire Hall Award for NASCAR Media Excellence. Steve Wade, you will be missed. Well, we're joined in the booth here by a very special guest, Captain Lauren Jacoby, Naval Base Coronado Commanding Officer. There he is with his beautiful family, promoted to captain by his own father. Relieved Captain Montero of his duty as commanding officer in 2025. And I'm told I'm to call you by your call name, Wookie. Where did Wookie come from?
That's right. So, so aviators, right? Call signs are real.
Yes.
So it's usually something silly that you do, or maybe something you don't like about yourself. So
to knock you down a couple notches or
that's
something?
That's right. So maybe we'll get together in the I-bar sometime, and I'll tell you about my call sign.
The I-bar. We've heard about this place. It's so great to have you here. And I understand you oversee everything. So first off, when did this all come about? How did this come about, NASCAR being here?
Yeah, so it was 2 years ago when NASCAR approached the Navy and they said, hey, we want to partner with you in order to celebrate the Navy's 250th birthday, maybe tell that story in a new and exciting way. So a lot of work kind of went into that because one thing we said up front was we weren't going to impact military readiness, right? So we have to, make sure all these plans, don't impact our ability to deploy, right, and do that combat mission that the Navy does every day. So it took us about 2 years to get there, and man, we're excited to be here.
So many logistics, right?
What has this been like for the sailors? Because since I have drove onto the island and came to the racetrack today, the enthusiasm is through the roof. What has it been like for your sailors to have NASCAR here on the base?
Oh yeah, they are really, really excited, and there's been a lot of build-up. So I think there were a lot of questions, right? How are we going to be able to integrate this, and traffic, and getting to our jobs, and how is the this track runs right to the base? I think there was a little bit of trepidation, right, at first. Those historic double dome hangars that we see out there, near and dear to my heart. I was the commanding officer of 2 of those squadrons there, and those sailors have to work in those hangars, and so it was a lot of work to get there. But then as they saw it really coming through and coming to fruition, tons of excitement as they see this race course, really emerge in where they work.
Wookie, we're going to ask you to stay here for another segment. Pit road is open. They're there. Let's head to Josh now.
I'll start with the Stage 1 winner, Lane Riggs. Team told him the only place he's really getting beat right now is in Turn 5. Let him know what they need to be better, and that Turn 4 tires of fuel for the 34. Caitlin?
Well, Josh, taking a look at the 45 of Landon Lewis, just checked in with the team. The crew chief, Phil Gould, just telling me he's lacking a little forward drive. They're going to go ahead and make an air pressure adjustment for him.
Lots of adjustments all around. New tires filled up with fuel. We're ready to go for stage number 2. You see Honeycutt stayed out, Lane Riggs on top. So the captain will stay with us for one more segment, so we will step aside. We have so many questions, so we'll certainly dive into how all of this came to be at Naval Base Coronado. An exciting day for our military and NASCAR. And we welcome you back to San Diego. That view right there, just incredible. The USS Carl Vinson, the backdrop of our racetrack here for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And we continue here with the captain and Wookie. It is. This is so much fun to have you. So I know Michael has another question for you about how all this came to be.
I've just loved this racetrack. Kevin and I were joking about the jumps and the hops and the twists and the turns. It didn't just pop up out of the ground. What all went into building this racetrack?
Yeah, so it was great, actually, partnership between NASCAR and the Amphibious Construction Battalion. So we have CBs on the base. So these are kind of our construction experts within the Navy. And the Amphibious Construction Battalion came to me and said, hey, we'd like to help because this is going to help our young sailors, right, to gain experience. And, and our supervisors, they're going to get experience too. So they volunteered to kind of help and construct the track. And it's been really great to see the experts from NASCAR working right alongside these construction experts, from the Navy. Really great to see.
Wow.
Lots of fun.
What's it been like today, just hearing those engines roar to life for the first time and just seeing all the sailors and their families out here? What's been the reaction?
It's been a little bit overwhelming for me. It's a place that I just have such a strong connection with. You know, I've flown out of here. You know, I've worked out of here for so long, and I live on Naval Base Coronado as well. So really a little bit overwhelming for me, and then just that opportunity to tell the story to about the Navy's 250th birthday has been amazing.
Bring us to the green, Captain. This is us going back racing.
All right.
Caden Honeycutt. Jimmy Johnson on the front row, restart. And it is stage number 2 underway. Captain Jacoby, Wookie, thank you so much for all that you've done to make this possible. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. I don't know if we're coming back, but I sure hope we do.
Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure.
Look at this, 3 wide, guys.
We knew that was coming, Jamie, and Kevin, all day long, these restarts are just going to get more and more intense. These guys understanding how important track position is and trying to grab it while they're all stacked up together on the restarts. Look at that, 4 wide, baby.
Well, it's definitely the time that you can take advantage of somebody making a mistake, a lane getting checked up, and like you said, Mike, this is not going to get less aggressive as we go throughout the day.
So the top 15 stayed out there. The top 5 have yet to pit today. Caden Honeycutt back up front leading. Amanda.
Yeah, Jamie, we were ready to call that pit stop for Caden Honeycutt, and Scott Zipadelli with a last-minute call kept him out there. What was the leading reason for that decision, Scott?
We've got a few different strategies we're going to play out here today. Our Safe Flight Toyota Pro is really good. Couldn't run with the 34 right there. We've got to make a couple adjustments. Maybe we can get them, but you know, we're not going to beat them doing the same thing. And I feel like it's safer to do our own race and see where we end up. So hopefully it'll play
Quickly,
out.
where are you on fuel?
I don't really want to tell you, but we'll be pitting here in probably another 10 laps.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Amanda. What do you guys think of that strategy there?
I love it. Look, if you don't think you can beat them head-to-head, you want to try to put yourself in a position where you can put them in the middle of the pack and try to put them in a bad spot to get their truck torn up or whatever the case is. And when you have the track position, you're in a spot to where you're in less trouble because of the traffic and all the things that aren't happening around you. But I think when you run those caution laps, I mean, we really only got to run 9 laps right here, Michael, by the time the caution laps were over. So it's not a long ways outside of their fuel window from flipping that last stage to have the track position when you start that 3rd stage.
This 17 truck is really fast. He's on a differing strategy. He was able to pit early under that caution. He has fresher tires, and he's the first truck with those fresher tires, and he is rolling.
7 truck, Connor Mozak is around.
Yeah, and he's either gotten into the wall or there's another truck with damage.
Oh,
And a lot of
for Ben
damage.
Rhodes.
Yeah, we saw them both have damage this morning in practice. Look at this battle, guys. Jimmy Johnson going for the lead at Coronado, leaning all over Caden Honeycutt.
This is huge. The pace that Jimmy has racing for the lead. This is so fun.
And we saw Caden Honeycutt, what we thought Lane Riggs was just pulling away. That could have been Honeycutt starting to lose that pace. We saw those tires that Amanda showed us earlier that had that tire wear on pit road, and we thought it could have been from a lockup, but there is going to be some tire wear and some of these trucks that fall off as those cords start to show on the tires if that's the case.
Now the top 4 have yet to pit today. Of course, Honeycutt, Smith, Hemrick, and Gralla.
Lane Riggs up to 10th on his strategy. Jimmy Johnson looking up at Caden Honeycutt leading the race.
Yeah, this whole strategy is pretty fascinating, Mike, and going back to Scott Zipadelli's call right there to leave Caden on the racetrack, that shows you that they know that 34 truck has them on pace, and you know, I think that this strategy works out for them, and everybody winds up pitting here at the end of this stage to make sure. I mean, we know they're going to have to pit in stage 3, so this is a brilliant strategy if it plays out the way that I think it's going to.
Well, he talked about maybe running 10 more laps as you see the damaged truck of Mosak on pit road. The team looking it over. I think they're deciding there's a lot of damage to that left front. And the damage comes after the spin. goes around there and was just outside of the groove, and right there, someone came through and clipped him. Whoa.
Yeah, looks like Kligerman might have gotten into the back of that 7 truck and turned him around right there.
So timing and scoring is having a little bit of an issue. So it's Honeycutt obviously out front, Jimmy Johnson just behind him. And another battle now. Jimmy Johnson has yet to pick. Oh, a big lockup by Caden Honeycutt. Jimmy Johnson, new leader in Coronado.
We talked about those tires, Kevin, and that's not good for them. They are slipping and sliding them there. If they've got some wear on them, that'll certainly put it into the cords.
He's definitely got some wear on there now with those front tires that locked up as he got off in the corner. But as you know, when these tires start to wear, not only does it lose traction up off the corner, but it also starts to lose that braking capability when those tires start to have less grip in the front. But both those front tires were locked up on that truck as he went off into the corner.
Are you believing this? I mean, we've talked about how spectacular this event is and how happy we are to be here. And now 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson is leading the race.
He could call this his home track. Grew up 19 miles away from here in El Cajon, driving off-road trucks, racing dirt bikes. He did it all. Found his way to NASCAR after that, but how special to come back to his local region. As soon as they announced this, guys, he went to work and made this deal happen with Tricon Garage. Look at that, 19 miles to be exact. And now here he is, 50 years old, a 7-time Cup champion, and he's leading in his second ever Truck Series race.
Well, he's going to learn really quickly that I know he's been driving the Cup car some and helping everybody at Legacy, trying to get everything sorted out to be where they want to be from the competition side. But he's going to learn really quickly. Truck racing's pretty fun, and being able to be competitive in this Tricon truck up in the front of this field is something that is going to. He's going to remember, and he's going to say, hey, you know what? That truck race was pretty fun. Let's go do another one somewhere.
I hope he does, because this is just amazing. This Hall of Fame legend racing the trucks and getting the lead here.
Last time Jimmy Johnson led was at Phoenix in a Cup car in 2020 when he retired. What a moment.
Honeycutt's hanging on back there, Kevin, in third.
Halfway through stage number 2, airtime, and this was the moment. Jimmy Johnson makes the pass after Honeycutt locks him up. Johnson out front. Welcome back to Naval Base Coronado, where Jimmy Johnson is leading the field, trying to hold off a hard-charging Chandler Smith. You have seen it all right here. And he's hanging on, though.
You see Chandler right there in the braking zone, just made up 2 or 3 car lengths under braking. Jimmy able to get off the corner pretty good, make up a couple of those, but it looks like Chandler's a little bit better right now, Mike.
He's just week in, week out, one of the best trucks on the racetrack, and that thing has gotten better and better as the day's gone on. Remember, these cats haven't been to pit road. It's got to be getting to be about time.
Well, guys, one driver out of the field after contact, Corey LaJoie. He's with Josh.
Yeah, that's right, Jamie. End of the day comes too early for you. We see the damage on the right side of the truck. What happened out there?
I don't know. I mean, we're in the middle of the, too wide, trying to get some positions back. We didn't flip the stage there. I'm not sure why, but we got back in the hornet's nest, and you're just trying to feel asphalt, even if it's the right move or the wrong move. And I rolled in kind of driver's left through the chicane there, and somebody was stopped. And I was first I knew about it was when I was looking right in Connor Mozak's eyes. So too little, too late. Man, we just can't catch a break with this Mopar Ram because we've been on the backside of the top 10 for every week for the last 4 or 5 races, and something's happened. So it's unfortunate, but we're making steps in the right direction. This track's incredible. The naval base is incredible. I hate our day ended early, but still going to be a fantastic weekend here for Saturday and Sunday.
Thanks. Tough end to the day for Corey LaJoie, Jamie.
So Corey's out of the race, and the leader, Jimmy Johnson, on pit road for the first time. Gets service, 4 tires, filled it up with fuel.
And Jimmy did perfect there too, Kevin. You saw him stop right in his box. That's a big part. That gets the whole pit stop started. You got to do your job as a driver. We talk about pitting backwards, if you will, coming in from the other direction. He did his job, and the team jumped over and had a great pit stop.
So that turns the lead over to Chandler Smith for the first time today. Caden Honeycutt just behind him. Both of those drivers have yet to pit. And you see Justin Marks, the backup truck here, and a lot of damage, guys.
Yeah, that one is done for the day. See what happened right here. Same thing that we've seen all day.
Turn 16. Off that corner. It seems like if you lose a little bit of traction and you get high, it just skates right out into the wall.
Yeah, and that damage on the splitter on the left front right there was already there. That splitter was bent and damaged as he got into 16, and then as he exited 16, kind of finished it off there. So there was already some damage to the splitter, but definitely ended the day by the exit of that corner on turn 16 when he hit the fence. Justin's going to be on the opposite end of the spectrum of Jimmy Johnson. he's had a rough day today with the 2 wrecks and finishing that one off today.
Yeah, how about that? 2 Cup Series owners racing in the Truck Series.
Put Lane Riggs into the top 5 with that move around Majeski and that bright yellow number 88.
Lane Riggs has the newest tires, pitted on lap 13. You mentioned he's up to 4th.
Parker Kligerman uses his strategy, raced his way just ahead of Lane there in the number 75 truck.
One thing that's really changed for these guys from practice to where they're at right now is we see Chandler Smith on pit road.
Josh, Chandler is coming your way.
Yeah, for Chandler Smith, this is his first stop of the day. He said he's struggling with rear grip, especially in the concrete section, but still feels like the truck is really good on the long run. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel for the 38. Amanda?
Yeah, Josh, we'll mark it as 19 laps completed for Caden Honeycutt to come into for his first pit stop. We saw Scott Tipidelli make that impressive call, but he said that he needed lateral grip to get going again, Caitlin.
Finishing up the stop there on the 11, and here comes Gio Ruggiero in the 17 truck to get his service.
See them plug him in. He's filling up with Sunoco race fuel with 0 carbon bioethanol. These guys are going to be happy to get those fresh tires, especially Caden Honeycutt.
That's his 2nd trip to pit road. We saw him early in the race on lap 4 or 5 come to pit road and make an adjustment. They knew they did a lot of work on that truck.
Yeah, and I think for Honeycutt and the guys that stayed out there, Jimmy Johnson, Chandler Smith, all those guys that stayed out on those old tires, they really got a sense of what a long run was going to be like, and then take it a little bit further. So that's what you're going to have to do in this last stage. I mean, you're going to have to run, 16, 17 laps as you make that final charge in stage 3.
Lane Riggs on the inside of Parker Kligerman. Majeski in the 88.
Lane Riggs trying to pick up that extra spot. He does it. Ty Majeski is on the move, getting a little impatient on the bumper. Parker Kligerman.
Yeah, we know Parker always does a great job, and pretty much anything that he jumps in, he's not full-time in anything, but every time he gets behind the seat in this 75 truck has always been good throughout the years, sporadically as they show up to the races. But he's been pretty regular in this 75 truck, and what great experience for his broadcast as he goes through the rest of the weekend to be able to have the on-track time. It's just such a unique racetrack, and to be able to explain the bumps and the cracks and the braking zones and where the difficult spots are. There's a lot of them that stick out to us pretty obviously, but there's nothing better than being behind the wheel and being able to relate that directly to the fans at home.
Yeah, I talked to Parker yesterday, and he was like, I don't have a backup truck, so you'll see me taking it easy, but we feel like when we get in the race, we're going to be competitive. And one of the crew guys said, this is the truck. We won a road course race, I think in Mid-Ohio back a few years ago. And I said, what year was that? And the crew guy said, I don't know, it's been a long time. But that's the same very truck with a new body on it. So great job by that team to bring a fast truck again. Stat guy Joe says it was 2022 when he went to Victory Lane. So that's a 4-year-old truck. Probably not many more out there any older than that, huh, Kevin?
Well, that's one thing about the truck series. A lot of the rules hadn't changed, but I would say in the portion of the field he's racing in, you're probably right.
Yes.
So 3 laps to go here in stage number 2. Lane Riggs, second fastest that last lap. It was Grant Enfinger who turned the fastest lap back and forth.
He's been impressive, hasn't he?
He really has been.
It's been a good day for that 9 team.
I mean, you hear from him, and it's like, don't root for me, don't count on me, I'm not sure what I'm doing. And he's been running top 5 solid.
Yeah, I mean, he would have made it sound like that he didn't really want to be out there this morning with his interview because of how uncomfortable he felt. And you see the results in the position that he's running on the racetrack right now. Definitely wouldn't show it. So I think Grant is one of those old cagey veterans that is like, yeah, no, I want to set the expectations too high, but I want to go out there and overachieve on what I'm doing.
Well, Kevin, you had a great point earlier. I mean, he is a veteran, 234 starts in this series. This is the second time ever that we've raced on a street course in this series. This isn't something that's natural or because you have a lot of experience that it shines through. This is something that these drivers have all really had to adapt to.
Well, they've done a great job, and when we went to St. Pete earlier in the year, we didn't really know how it was going to go. Qualifying got rained out. They started pretty green and were able to put on a great race. And I think as you look at the race today, this has gone way better than practice with what we've been able to do. But street course racing is no joke. When you make a mistake like we saw so many times in practice today, this thing will reach out and bite you.
Lane Riggs coming down pit road. Josh.
Well, Lane Riggs, who won stage 1, elects to short pit stage 2, said he needs more lateral grip in the truck. Still, it'll be no adjustments for them, just 4 tires and fuel.
See a lot of trouble on that left rear tire right there, Michael. That's going to be a pretty slow pit stop.
And pitting reverse like this, a lot of times it's just that timing gets off just a little bit. That muscle memory is challenged.
And well, I think that situation right there, the truck just the tire got caught in the left rear fender well right there, and it couldn't get the tire. It looked like the jack might not have been quite high enough to just get that tire straight off.
When you got the speed that he has, just a little mistake like that is definitely a setback. You don't want to give up anything, but certainly he can overcome that.
So Parker Kligerman, the 75, out front for the second time today. Ty Majeski just behind him. Ty Majeski, on the other hand, he was pretty optimistic this morning about what they had in the setup.
Well, he was fast at St. Pete.
Finished second, Michael.
Ran right up front all day long, really fast. Loves road racing, student of the game, as all these guys are, especially over the last couple weeks, right? They have been studying some laps, taking some laps on sim. really working hard to be ready for this day.
I'm just impressed that the axles are still in that 88. After that moment that he had earlier in the race with that wheel hop, and for those axles not to be broken, pretty impressive. But he got a little bit lucky right there and didn't run into anything and able to keep that truck going straight and doing a good job.
That was probably one of the coolest saves I've ever seen, because he was out of control for a long time and was able to keep it off of other trucks and keep it going in the right direction.
You know, for people maybe watching casually and they don't know, like when we come to a brand new place like this, how did these guys prepare? Kevin, I know you spent a little time on iRacing, which was incredible, by the way. We were able to get an idea what this whole track layout was like. But what are these guys doing? What do they gain from that? And how similar is it to the real thing?
Well, most likely they've been prepping for this race for a few weeks now to be able to start to get the visuals down, to be able to memorize this racetrack. And you know, as you got closer to race week, then you would get in the simulator and start working on your setup stuff. Cruz kind of,
oh, Jamie McMurray. He had those brake problems earlier.
Big damage. He's a lap off the pace when this happened. Looks like he's going to be riding a bull.
I wasn't going to say it, Michael, but I think you're right.
That's
that bet with Clint Boyer. If he could beat Clint Boyer's finish of 29th, but he's got big issues here.
flat right front tire. See the fenders torn loose there.
Yeah, and we saw that hood up on that truck earlier. Not sure what they were working on right there or what happened right here. I'm sure we'll find a replay.
This is his worst fear, not being able to, you know, we talked about being nervous about this opportunity.
Turn 16 has been a problem for so many trucks.
I'm not sure something didn't break on the right front before that.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I agree with you right there, Mike. I'm not so sure that the right front tire or something didn't go down.
Yeah, that's just too abrupt for Jamie to.
Man, he hit that fence hard. You
Look
see
at
that
it.
whole barrier
wall
move
out
back.
about 6 inches.
Found
Final
the
lap
lead.
of stage number 2.
Little
side
contact
by
right
side.
there. See Ty Majeski into the back of Parker Kligerman. He knows how important these stage points are, and if you're going to stay out on this strategy, you want to win this stage.
Parker says, not so quick, young man.
Parker says, I want to win this. Ty Majeski says, I'm full time. I need these points in the championship hunt.
Yeah, as they exit turn 12 right here, down towards turn 13, Ty's going to have a couple more opportunities under these braking zones.
Big opportunity down to 16.
Yeah, I'm just not so sure. He's going to have to get closer than that to be able to make that happen down into 16 here, into the chicane, I mean.
Entering the chicane, a couple more turns, a couple more opportunities for Ty Majeski.
Yeah, you saw Ty be able to really squirt the throttle right there to make up that ground.
There it is.
There it is. Kligerman hangs on, wins stage number 2. That is his 4th stage win of his career. What a feat for that little team that could. Henderson Motorsports, just a handful of guys, part-time team. Came with a good-looking truck and a fast truck. Naval Base Coronado. 2 stages in the books, 1 to go. We'll be back for pit stops next.
NASCAR on our base this weekend.
It's incredible how we have done everything in such short time and everything that has been put into this.
It's going to be a scenery that NASCAR or nobody has ever seen like this before.
A lot of people see aircraft carriers on camera, but never actually see it in real life.
The turns are definitely a little tight. It's going to be interesting to see how they manage that, but I think everything's going to go great.
250 years of America and the Navy. It's a great way for us to celebrate our nation, what we do, and how we live.
I think it'll be one for the history books.
These sailors are just loving every minute of showing off their base and what they're capable of. Having a little fun at it too. We had a sailor showdown. It was just a few hours ago. We had the sailors team up with some pit crews. There were 4 teams, 2 sailors, which were the tire changers. For 3 of the 4 teams, the 4th team comprised a wounded warrior unit. The sailors you see there changing the tires. And yesterday, everyone who participated had to go through a 3-hour training session. You can see there, it's not so easy.
The athleticism of these guys that hop over the wall and change the tires and fill it up, it's just amazing. We see it week in and week out, but they do crazy things. And when you have these sailors that are fit and tough as well, get out there and try to do it, they have a new respect for our crew guys.
That's what it's all about right there. The sailors and their families taking in NASCAR on Naval Base Coronado. We'll be back with the 3rd and final stage.
It's a super rough course in San Diego, so all that brake modulation and wheel spin will have to be utilized from everybody, and so it's going to be a real battle of attrition with the race car as well, as rough as the racetrack is.
Check out the all-new Fox Sports digital show, Speed, with Harvick and Buxton, fueled by Poet. Subscribe to Speed on Fox on YouTube, the Fox Sports app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Kevin, you always have good opinions. I think you knew what you were talking about there. It's lived up to everything.
Well, I'm glad you like opinions, Jamie. Not everybody likes my opinion, but I'm fine with that too.
Hey,
but
we had our moments.
You know, it's
keep it spicy.
It's always been one of those things where I see it, I say it, and we move on, right? Like, and it just becomes I might not be right, but.
Or you might be.
I might be.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 chance most
You've
of the time.
got a lot of experience, a lot of success in this sport. I think people have to respect what you say, whether they like it or not.
Well, and look, when we were talking about this course and in the simulator and seeing all the things that were going with this course, everybody knew it was going to be rough. They knew that the racing surface was going to be challenging, and I think they've done a great job. Our truckers have done a great job from practice to the race of being able to adjust, and so far they put on a great show. Now they might all lose their minds as we get into stage 3 right here, but so far it's been a great show.
There could be, this is interesting, with the repairs to pit wall there, we're staying out before opening the pits, and that means we're going to shorten the laps we have to run to get to the checker. We talked about 17, 18 laps, but if you run enough caution flags, those laps, you can get more laps out of a tank of fuel. If you pit here, some guys can make it.
It'll be close.
It will be.
Yeah, 24 to go, and I think that, I mean, look, somebody's going to gamble.
That's right.
We saw that last week with Christopher Bell in the Cup race. Somebody's going to gamble if it's even in the conversation remotely possible.
Well, guys, when we were waiting for our show to start, we watched USA win their second straight World Cup match, and we have plenty more coming up tomorrow. The FIFA World Cup rolls on as the Netherlands take on Sweden at 1 Eastern with massive group points on the line. Then at 4 Eastern, Germany looks to stay hot, while Ivory Coast eyes another upset. That's all on Fox. And a cool event yesterday. SVG right there got to meet his New Zealand national team. The soccer team was right here in San Diego, got to shake hands. You see him signing some autographs. What a cool moment for him.
Always great when you can kind of have the crossover between two sports, and NASCAR, and we know that Shane is a great race car driver, but when you can tie in the soccer team and the NASCAR driver and put all that together, it grows both sports, and that's what I love about the fact that we have guys from different countries, and Shane has been such a great addition to the Cup Series and has just a massive following.
Well, and you see him kick that soccer ball into the stands when he wins a race. He's got skills.
Mike, do not call that a soccer ball.
Well,
yeah, I've been down that road.
Rugby. All right, so.
I just said ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He booted it.
Well, it's World Cup time.
Yeah. So Jackson Lee is in the 2, having a decent run here back in 20th. Let's get an update, Amanda.
Yeah, and welcome back to Jackson Lee to the Truck Series. It's his 3rd race with us this season, all on road courses. His father is our IndyCar on Fox colleague, Kevin Lee, who is at Road America this weekend, but the whole family is here. Jackson Lee is an instructor for Skip Barber Racing School, and he told me that this place is just absolutely wild. He said if he was talking to his students that this place would be St. Pete on steroids. But earlier before the race started, Jackson told me that he was going to fall back into this race and let the race come to him. As I said, his entire family here, and they said that we may be beating Kevin Lee over in Road America with our views here in San Diego.
Yes, nice young man. This is all new to him, and when you're a young guy like him, you don't get to go test. You don't get to learn all these things. He races all kinds of sports cars and races all over the country, but this is new to him. Just his 3rd start, doing a nice job today. So pit road will be open next time. See stage points so far. Grant and Finger. I did not have that on my bingo card. Maximizing today, 14 points earned.
Well, remember, we're racing for a spot in the chase, and these guys need those stage points when they're having a season that isn't quite what they expected. Right there on the cusp of the bubble.
Yeah, bumped him from 12th to 9th in the points. So
having a great day. Got a lot of them coming your way. Amanda.
Yeah, Jamie, and that's exactly what Grant Enfinger wanted to do today, was find those points. He also said that his other strategy was not take myself out of this race. At the beginning of the day, Grant Enfinger said he had one of the worst trucks that he's ever had, but it had a lot of pace in it. I just talked to his crew chief, Derek Smith, who said the truck is so good right now with the big swings that we've been making today. Minimal adjustments for Grant Enfinger. A little sideways there in that box, Caitlin.
Problem for Caitlin's mic. She was going to talk about Ty Majeski, a little slow on the right front.
Grant Enfinger had a weird angle into his pit, but the crew overcame that. Did a nice job.
Riggs team getting it done. Gio Ruggiero as well. Great job on pit road. Just 23 laps to go here from Naval Base Coronado. Stay with us. How is this going to shake out? Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from San Diego. Picture perfect day. You see downtown San Diego as we look on from Coronado Island. Well, one driver, big hit, Jamie McMurray, he is out. Let's hear from him, Josh.
Yeah, and I heard Jamie come over the radio and apologize to the team after that huge hit with the wall. Can you let me know what happened there and just how the day was overall?
Yeah, honestly, I don't really know what happened. I let the 77 go. I think it was Justin Marks go. When I did, I just kind of lost my eyesight, and I don't really feel like I missed the corner that much. It was more just the angle of my truck when I hit it, and I'm telling you, it's like a jump when you hit that, and you kind of know in the moment that this is not going to be good. So it's frustrating. We had a brake issue early on. A bleeder or something came loose, so it stinks. I really wanted to be able to to run all day and with just a lap to go right in the stage. But yeah, frustrating.
Frustrating day, but good to have you back in the truck, Jamie.
Thanks.
Jamie?
Thank you, Josh. So Chandler Smith, Caden Honeycutt will lead him on this restart. Both drivers stayed out. fact, the first 9 stayed out. Lane Riggs, the first to pit, back in 9th.
Oh, you see Chandler Smith slide right into the door of the 11 truck of Caden Honeycutt right there. He knows he's got to do everything he can.
Guys, look who's lurking. Jimmy Johnson.
Also the dive bombs into turn 1 there. These guys are getting more and more aggressive.
Look at the Ram trucks back there. Minnie Tyrell, Justin Haley.
Yeah, you see a lot of yellow right there in that part of the screen with those Ram trucks right there. We see 2 of them out of the race and 2 of them still running up towards the front of the pack.
That's battling for a top 5 spot for those Rams. That's a good performance.
Yeah, and you talk about Minnie Tyrell running there in 5th place. He doesn't have a lot of road race experience. He grew up racing at Dominion Raceway in Virginia. Late model stocks ran him for his a long time, since he was about 8 or 9 years old. So great story with Minnie right there. Won the Cars Tour race last week at Dominion Raceway and had his charity there.
What a great win that was for Minnie.
Talked to him about it yesterday. And his charity is helping kids and families who are dealing with cancer, pediatric cancer. He started it when he was 6 years old. Now it's a 501c3. He did it for them. He is an exceptional young man. If you want to learn more about him, I encourage you to. I mean, he went on the talk shows when he was like 10 years old talking about what he's doing to give back to kids. And it was because he had a friend that had cancer and it moved him so much. That's become Minnie's mission.
Yeah, well, the whole Tyrell family is just a great family. Been able to be around them for a few years now as they've raced with the short tracks on the Cars Tour and different events. Just a great family doing great things.
Saw briefly there the 26 of Dawson Sutton. He's in the top 10. We saw him with that spin early in the race and rebounded nicely. Good job for Dawson. He's just getting better and better in that 26 truck there. Ackley roofing on the side of it. Patriotic paint scheme. Good job.
21 laps to go here from Coronado. Caden Honeycutt looking for his 2nd career win. He won just a few weeks ago at Watkins Glen, the last road course we were on, but Chandler Smith is all over him. He's closed that gap.
Jimmy Johnson lurking back there in 3rd.
And we saw that 11 truck take off pretty good at the beginning of the race, and what we thought was fade as the truck would run multiple laps compared to Chandler Smith and Lane Riggs and Jimmy Johnson. That's still weird to say, Jimmy Johnson. But, you know, he kind of had some fade as he would run 5 or 6 laps in a row. So we've got 21 laps to go right now. No more stage breaks. This is to the end of the race. So we'll see what that 11 truck does as we get multiple laps on the tires.
Really interesting for me. We know these trucks up front will have to pit. We'll have to see how much fuel stretching some of the other competitors can do with about 23 laps to go when they pitted, but a couple of those were under caution, so that helps. Be interesting to see what's happening on pit road, Amanda.
Yeah, take a look at Daniel Hemrick, guys, all the way up to the 4th position. You guys, they didn't even qualify, as we saw earlier today, because they had that bad wreck in practice. Daniel Hemrick was kind of beating himself up on it and said it was my fault, even though the track at that point was still pretty treacherous. Kevin Bellacourt, his crew chief, told me that it was a 3-hour repair to get this truck back on track, and so glad they did. Daniel is running with Bill McAnally's grandfather, a photo of his grandfather on the truck here this weekend, who was in World War II, and then also in honor of the red shirts on that wrap.
Great story, yes. Daniel Hemrick, that team took the time, made the proper repairs, and for good reason. The 2 road courses we've been on this year, he finished 8th at St. Pete, 4th at Watkins Glen for Hemrick. So Hemrick going up in 4th right now.
Great effort.
Stuart Friesen, guys, some issues. He's on pit road right now on the radio saying the steering is broken. So tough break for Friesen, who too was in a backup truck.
Yeah, and you see Chandler Smith right now. He's got some damage on that right front fender, Michael. I don't know where or when that came, but he definitely has some damage. But there we go again.
Turn 2.
Honeycutt didn't get away with it this time.
Into the barriers.
We saw that happen earlier when he was racing with Jimmy Johnson. Did the exact same thing, but this time he got into the tire barriers.
Chandler Smith, your leader.
I'd be worried if I was Honeycutt about that wall contact, putting a fender on a tire. He got away with not a lot of damage there, but if a tire blows, it'll be the end of the day.
Yeah, he's in big trouble right here. Those tire barriers, they will shove the body in the suspension. See how? Yeah, he's going to have to pit, but it'll shove the tire barriers itself will shove the body in further than just hitting the wall because the suspension won't move. And you see the back tires are hopping right there. Got some wheel hop getting in the corner. We saw him have the exact same problem earlier with Jimmy Johnson.
It'd be interesting to come to pit road, get his tires pulled out, get that fuel. We know he can make it from there. So as bad as that looks, Kevin, it might not be the end of his day, depending on if he can get to pit road without blowing a tire first.
Yeah, and honestly, that fender is broke right behind the tire, which is allowing that quarter panel to actually move up. You see how it's kind of flared out, Michael, but he's definitely got some smoke, but the quarter panel is split on that right rear fender. We saw that earlier when he had that contact with the wall in practice, but right now I think that's what's saving his tire. It didn't fold straight down so that the tire would get cut.
Well, he's gonna have to pit, so it'd be interesting to see how quickly they decide to do it. A lot of smoke initially, and it must have clearanced itself quite a lot because you don't see that smoke anymore.
Jimmy Johnson all over the rear bumper, and meanwhile Lane Riggs has closed that gap back and forth.
Yeah, and you actually see more smoke when that truck turns to the right, because that'll push that rear end housing over towards the right side of the truck. When it's here he comes.
Caden Honeycutt makes his way onto pit road, pull that fender out, get some fresh tires.
Fill it up with gas. We got the Poet strategy, and he's in a window. I believe he can make it. This be interesting to see how this team is able to rally from this mistake.
Yeah, and he really put him in a window where they had to pit, right? So it's right on the edge of that pit window if we run green, from everything that we're hearing from the team. So it'll be interesting to see what they do when they get to the right side of this truck. But you see where that fender is split right there. It's actually pushed the fender up. I don't know that I'd spend a lot of time on that.
They filled him up with Sunoco race fuel, zero carbon bioethanol. Meanwhile, Lane Riggs picks up a spot, gets around. Jimmy Johnson moves into second.
Chandler Smith has driven away from these guys, Jamie.
He certainly has. About 6.5 second lead right now over Lane Riggs. We're going to step aside, but you won't miss a thing as we go Fox side by side. Earlier today in the pre-race, we saw the U.S. Navy leapfrogs. These guys putting on a show.
Wow.
Michael, we were walking the track yesterday, and these guys were out just having fun, kind of practicing for what they're doing today in the pre-show. They'd interlock each other's feet. 2 of them were carrying the American flag, and they hit their marks despite the wind every time right there on the track.
Just a crazy, amazing show of skydiving and precision. It was so fun to watch.
And the anthem, the flyover, the command, everything has been about the sailors today.
And they're having a great time. And I love the fact that we are showing them off and showing off their facility, everything that they do for this country to keep us safe and let us come out and race these vehicles every single weekend. We just can't thank them enough for letting us be here, but for what they do for our country to keep us safe.
It's incredible. We're here in one of the radio towers. It's our booth. And they told me normally aircraft is parked all around us, helicopters, fighter jets, you name it. Here, it's like the fan zone for all the fans and the sailors having fun. And then we have all 3 of the garages of NASCAR just completely converted this base.
There's a lot of strategy, a lot of thoughts going on about what's happening on pit road.
Let's listen.
So we're going to be screwed here no matter what. Either we pit, take our medicine, and restart at the tail, or try to restart and gap as much as we can and pit and come out. I feel like either way we're going to come out freaking 15th.
That is because some guys, I think, will elect to stay out. I'm just curious. We hear the pit crews tell us somewhere between 16, 18 laps they can make it. But we've up to 4 or 5 laps under caution. Maybe there's some of these teams that think they can stretch it. We know Chandler can't make it. He doesn't have near enough gas, nor does Jimmy Johnson. It's going to be fun to watch.
Under caution here for the 4th time for debris that came off of Frankie Muniz's truck. How about that? A little parasailing. You could do it all. It's 72 and perfect in San Diego. The famous I-bar right here on Coronado Island, made famous, of course, in Maverick, if you're a fan of that. So the rule here, it's buying around, but you have to pick up the bar tab for everyone, right? If you leave your cell phone on the bar, you wear a hat in the bar, or you touch any of those airplane models on the roof. Got to remember that, Kevin.
Yeah, well, I've been set up in a situation like that and had to buy the bar around, so unfortunately not there, but it has happened.
Fun place, right up the street. Let's check in with Caitlin.
Well, right now I want to tell a story about Kyle Ayala. He is actually the interior mechanic on the 44 truck for Andres Perez, but he told me he was also an engineman and diesel mechanic in the Navy. He explained to me he's worked in damage control and as a fire party leader while he was actually stationed on the USS Avenger ship in Japan. And this ship was crucial asset in locating and neutralizing naval mines. So that ship ended up being decommissioned in 2014 and it was actually brought right to this base in Coronado. So it's a special day for him, just reflecting on some of those memories, his time in the Navy from 2013 to 2017, and now working with Andres Perez. Jamie?
Caitlin, thank you. And Al Neese, the owner of that team, we heard from him earlier. He served in the Navy, and he actually trained right here on Coronado. So some memories going way back in the day for him to be racing here. 3 trucks in the field, pretty special.
Pretty special getting to talk to Al. We saw one of his pit crews jump over the wall and had camouflage uniforms. It looked really cool to see them celebrating 250 here.
This is
Coronado.
unfortunate right here, Michael. We talked about what a great day Grant Enfinger is having. He brought it in, and Amanda just told us in break that he made a battery change, but said that there's some more issues. As you see here, he tried to leave, and things just aren't right.
Could be an alternator situation. Oh, Brendan's been quiet today.
Uncle Brenny, we haven't talked about him.
Yeah.
Back in the truck series, first time in 13 years.
Trudging along, a lap down, however.
Yeah, and he's in the McMurray category, right? Didn't have a lot of fun. Had the accident in practice, and now right front damage and a right front tire down again.
So Statman Joe just gave me this. Trucks who have not had damage today at all, practice, qualifying, or race, 10 trucks.
Well, it's not over, Jamie.
It's not over. Plenty of racing still to go, Josh.
I can tell you the 38 team labored over this decision whether to pit here or stay out and try and build a gap and hold for another caution. They elected to come in, get those 4 tires and fuel. They made their bed, they said. Now they'll see if they can get their way back to the front, guys.
Having a problem with the fuel can, you guys. Fuel was spraying out of the nozzle.
Must have felt like it was full. A lot of trucks coming to pit road. We thought we would see this. Some trucks that pitted on lap 27. That's our question, our interest, is if they can think they can stretch the fuel mileage that far to the end.
Yeah, you see Dawson Sutton broke down there at the entrance to the pit road. We saw earlier that he couldn't get his truck started after he spun out. So having some more issues right here with what we thought was going to be a pretty good cycle of events for him based upon when he last pitted, but that all comes to an end right now.
So he is stuck at pit in. Work has been done on pit road. Beautiful day here in San Diego. 16 laps left for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from Naval Base Coronado. tomorrow. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series continues the Top Gun action right here in San Diego, with racing starting at 5 Eastern on CW. Sunday, the epic conclusion to an all-American weekend with Cup racing at 4 Eastern on Prime. And we welcome you back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Been an eventful day. The race summary sponsored by Paula Casino Spa and Golf Resort. We've had 5 different leaders, guys. It's been action-packed.
It has, and you see these late cautions, Mike. I don't think our action is over as we see the field a little bit mixed up compared to what we had earlier. Lane Riggs has cycled out on the front side of this field with his strategy. He's got Ty Majeski right next to him on this restart. So it's going to be interesting, but I can promise you they're going to be as aggressive as they've been all day.
And Lane Riggs pitted with 23 to go. We talked about the pit window being much shorter than that, but a lot of these laps have been under caution. It's going to be interesting to see how all this strategy plays out.
So you're saying we're not going to end with 4 cautions on the day?
No, we're going to have another one.
Okay. Here we go. Ty Majeski. Lane Riggs out front. What a restart for Riggs in the 34. Gio Ruggiero in the hunt, trying to pick up that second spot.
Look at Nathan Nicholson in that 76, squeezing his way up in the top 5. Road racer, 20-year-old guy. Look at those guys jump over that.
What a shot that is.
What an amazing shot.
Here we go.
4, 5, 6 wide behind him. And the battle for second heats up.
Oh, Landon Lewis scrubbed the tire barrier. No damage, really.
Tyler Ankrum back there in the 3rd row.
What an impressive day for Ankrum.
And you see Honeycutt at the tail end of this shot right there, back there racing with Butterbean in that 12 Ram truck.
Must have got that truck fixed up after that hard hit into the tire barrier and then the wall.
Well, this is exactly what Lane Riggs needs. If he's close on fuel, is to get a little bit of a lead and then start to back off, to be able to lift a little bit sooner, to be able to partial throttle that truck, you know, in certain sections of the straightaway. See a blue truck on the bottom right there.
Oh,
that was Jimmy Johnson.
I thought right across in front of Jackson Lee.
I think Jimmy said, excuse me, I'm coming through. Got in there a little hot, and I think maybe locked up those front tires a bit.
I thought for sure that he was wiping out Butterbean right there. I think that's the truck that it was.
Johnson in 10th.
Right beside Kaz Gralla in that 62 truck.
Kaz Gralla actually works for Jimmy Johnson and Legacy Motor Club. He does all the sim work, testing work. Good to see him back behind the wheel.
See Jimmy down there on the bottom, locking those tires up. Went by 3 or 4 of them, Mike, but it was out of control. Luckily, that didn't tear up a bunch of trucks right there.
Caden Honeycutt is the truck. As you see again, Jimmy Johnson, that was luck there that we didn't have a big crash. I was saying Caden Honeycutt's in 4th position. He's got the most fuel of anyone in the top 5. He pitted on lap 31, so that's less than 20.
Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski, Nicholson, Honeycutt, Christian Eckes, the top 5. Butterbean hanging on to 6th right now, guys. Jackson Lee still in the top 10.
I just love it when that happens, Jamie. You get into the race late, and you got Jackson Lee, Butterbean Queen, Adam Andretti has made his way up to the top 10. It's just fun to see these guys fight all day long and then have their truck up front so that we can talk about the performance that they're having today.
Right as we talked about Jackson Lee, you saw him fall down the pylon, had an issue in the back of the pack now, but meanwhile up front, 14 laps to go here. Lane Riggs with the 2.5-second lead over Ty Majeski. Majeski looking for his first win of the season.
Yeah, and the way that this caution fell, it has really mixed up the field. We have a lot of names up in the front of this pack that we haven't seen all day. Obviously, Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski, Gio Ruggiero started at the back of this field. Ankrum we haven't seen all day. Honeycutt, he wrecked his truck and is still sitting there running 5th right now. Chandler Smith, who was dominating the race, running 7th. Nicholson, he was nowhere in sight all day. So a lot of things have cycled into what we have as to what we think is the final strategy of everybody's day, Josh.
for Lane Riggs in that 34 truck, the team said he is close on fuel. They told him to build a gap and then manage it. A couple seconds ago, he came over the radio and said, I want you to go 80% on the straightaway. So they are close on fuel, trying to manage it here. Minute?
Yeah, Josh, I think Caden Honeycutt might be sitting a little pretty. Scott Zipadelli reminding him that he's got a lot of time to go. Just work this truck little by little, guys. Remember, he got into that wall. They had to come down pit road and made that stop for tires and took fuel. Caden Honeycutt could be the one that moves up in this race just on fuel alone, guys.
But he's the best of the top 5 as far as fuel goes. He pitted on lap 31, so 19. This is all providing we don't go overtime. And I think the chances of that are probably pretty good that we would do that. But Honeycutt's in great position. And you heard earlier Chandler Smith's team tell him we're in trouble. We would put ourselves in a bind here. He's in the top 10 with plenty of fuel to go to the finish. He can run hard all the way to the checkered. You see him 7th there, running right with these guys.
Battle of the teammates right here. Gio Ruggiero, Caden Honeycutt, as they go down the hill into turn 2.
Yeah, and Chandler Smith, he just wants to do everything he can to keep Caden Honeycutt in sight. Because if this thing goes into overtime, Michael, you're going to have your hands full. 3 wide.
3 wide.
Wow, I can't believe they made it.
Smith on the inside, and he comes out ahead of both.
Well, he knows the urgency right now to stay with that 11 truck, and he also knows the urgency if those other guys make it. He can't get too far behind, because when Lane Riggs has to go into fuel conservation mode, they don't know if they're going to be able to make it. So if he's gonna make up the ground that he needs to stay with this 11 truck, if not pass him. That 11 truck has a ton of right rear damage, still making fairly good lap time, but Chandler Smith knows that he has to go right now.
I think it's so funny. It's come down to this. We talked in practice earlier about the fuel window. How far can they go? Can they get there? And now we're sitting right there on the bubble. Some guys that might not be able to quite make it. This guy up front, leading the race, in control, but he's really tight on gas.
Look at the biggest movers since we went back to racing, lap 36. Chandler Smith on the move, 10 positions gained. "13 laps to go here at Naval Base Coronado." We're going to step aside. You won't miss a thing. We're going Fox side by side. been an incredible day here at Naval Base Coronado for the Navy 250. Hearing these truckers roar to life to kick off the weekend as we celebrate America's 250th as well as the Navy's 250th. 11 to go here. Lane Riggs continues to lead, and moments ago, problems for Jimmy Johnson.
That could be the battle for the win right there. We'll have to see how this develops. But Jimmy Johnson hit by Nathan Nicholson there. And around goes Johnson. Did the 360 and kept gunning it. Still inside the top 15.
I'm not sure where he was, but I mean, he came out on the other side of the smoke and only lost 4 or 5 spots. So
we think these two cats right here have plenty of fuel to get to the finish. And we're listening to all the stories about stretch it, conserve fuel, you can make it lane. I'm not all the way buying into that. I mean, it's a way stretch. This track's 3.4 miles long. And they were talking a couple of laps short on fuel. How do you make that up?
Well, first thing I do is slow him down. He's still the fastest, one of the top couple
What are you at, throttle percentage?
on the racetrack.
Go to more, 65%, early upshift.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're telling him, is to go from 80% to 65%. So they definitely know that his pace is too fast for the comfort level that they're looking for to make it on fuel.
And the 38 has a lot of pace right now. He's got plenty of fuel, good tires. You can see him heating up Ty Majeski there. What he wants to do, Kevin, is make this pass as quick as he can and go push the 34 to have more pace, to run harder, to burn that fuel.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, Michael. You got to get up here and push that pace as hard as you can to make him burn the gas that he needs, because you're going to get there and then he's going to have to go.
I don't know if this...
Jake Garcia slow just before turn 5.
That could bring out a caution right now.
Looks like he has completely lost power.
There it is.
Caution is out for the 5th time today.
Well, that's definitely going to help Lane Riggs' case, to be able to shut that truck off, start coasting, start saving gas under caution. The only thing that puts him in a really vulnerable spot is if you get to overtime.
And I think that Chandler Smith has he's got, we heard 65% and upshift early. Chandler Smith is thinking 110%, whatever I got to do to push to get there, because he's got a fast truck.
Chandler Smith was the fastest truck on the track the last 2 laps, pushing for everything.
But we know that Lane was backed off, so we don't really know what the top speed is for Lane Riggs and when he's pushing. I think he's got the pace to run with Chandler Smith, but he doesn't necessarily have the ability to burn too much fuel. I think that these caution laps are going to give them some breathing room, but he's not going to have any cushion if we go into overtime.
Well, with 10 laps to go here at Naval Base Coronado, how is this one going to shake out? Stay with us from beautiful San Diego. Gorgeous day in San Diego Bay. Craftsman Truck Series live from Naval Base, Coronado. Happy that you're with us. Beautiful day for sailing. The winds have been gusting 15 to 20 miles per hour, but that has not affected what's been happening on track. Look at this overhead shot. They even have a golf course right inside this facility.
It is hard to put into words just the type of event that this is and just everything that has gone with it, the planning and oh, by the way, we're having a race too, but the sailors, the whole base itself, everything that NASCAR has done, the promotion leading up to it, and then the on-track action, Jamie.
It's been great from the get-go. That was the initial start. Great battle between Caden Honeycutt and Lane Riggs, and that might be what's shaping up here at the end of this one.
Lane showed early in this race he had a lot of pace, and then the action started picking up. A spin there, Nathan Nicholson into the side of Dawson Sutton. But the stage 1 victory right there, Lane Riggs. Watch this. Caden Honeycutt slides past the corner, and Lane was on his way.
7-time takes the lead, Jimmy Johnson.
Uncle Jamie hit the wall hard there off of turn 16, ended his day.
What a battle for stage 2. Parker Kligerman taking the checker flag.
Caden Honeycutt on the restart here. Chandler Smith has been up there battling top 4 all race long. Big hit for Caden Honeycutt into the wall after the barrier.
And then Lane Riggs back in control of the race. Under caution now, saving all the fuel he can to try to stretch it to the checker flag.
We've had 5 different leaders today, 13 lead changes, 5 cautions for 10 laps.
We saw Jimmy go around for a spin, so the team is elected to come in. He was back in 18th position. So I think this is just a call to get fresh tires and try to charge through the field.
And no matter what's happened today, I mean, Jimmy Johnson, just being in the truck race and being able to be in the truck race today and the cup race on Sunday and in front of what would be considered his hometown is pretty special. And I know Jimmy's 50 years old. We're all getting old. But it's definitely been a lot of fun to see him at the front of the pack. And I hope it spurs his enthusiasm to keep coming back and running some of these truck races. Cup racing's too hard. Those guys take it too serious. You can have a lot of fun here in the trucks.
I think it's funny getting old. Well, congratulations, because I got old. I'm officially there.
Yeah.
So there's the 50 is a good memory for me.
Well, guys, a lot of racing action all weekend long, and the stars of the IndyCar Series will take over Road America in Wisconsin. Alex Palou looks to continue his dominance there, going for his 4th win in 6 years on the road course at Elkhart Lake. It's the fastest racing on earth. That's Sunday, 2 Eastern on Fox. Elkhart Lake, what a beautiful area.
Yeah,
road course racing at its finest.
I had never been there until the year we ran the Cup car there. And it was an amazing crowd. I hate that things didn't work out to keep going back there. I mean, there was 100,000 people there in the woods, in the grandstands.
They were all over.
They were everywhere.
Caitlin.
Well, listening in to Ty Majeski's radio, also had a conversation with him this morning about his season as a whole. He told me it's been so up and down as of late. He said any issue that could happen, we've been experiencing it the last couple of weeks. But he said this is the time of year when my team really starts to come into their own. Of course, he added lots of unknowns with this street course today, but he believed his past success on road courses could help him. 8 top 10s in the last 10 races on the road courses. His team telling him now, though, max save. Also noting a couple teams mentioning compromised visibility because of that setting sun. Amanda?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the 42 of Tyler Reif. He's racing in honor of Colonel John W. Ripley here this weekend. Actually, just yesterday, Colonel Ripley picked up the Medal of Honor at the White House. Colonel Ripley passed away in 2008. His son Tom was there to pick it up. You can see that livery design of the camo. The team is decked out in camo fire suits as well. The interesting tie here, Colonel Ripley was known for his valor in Vietnam, and the former owner of Nice Motorsports, Al Nice, was in combat alongside Colonel Ripley.
Well, thank you to him and to all those who serve, who defend our freedom so that we can race and live in such a beautiful, free country like we do.
We can come here and celebrate 250 years of the Navy and What a special weekend. I just can't get over.
I can't either, Mike.
I mean, this is life-changing when you are able to visit and see this facility.
And we've been to a lot of races. I mean, I feel like I've been all around the world to watch races, and just the fact that we are here doing this event on this military base, a naval base, is I can't express enough just how awesome it is.
Well, the front two on the front row pitted with 33 laps to go. We know they're tight on gas. Row 2 has plenty of gas, so wow, this is going to be crazy.
The 8 laps to go here when they see the green flag once again. And Caitlin had mentioned there's been some concern about the setting sun. Keep our eye on that.
I don't think we've seen our last caution either, folks.
No, we're going to take the green with 8 laps to go, and you know, I think Lane Riggs, he's got to get a good restart right here, because I believe Chandler Smith can run with him and put him in a spot to where he has no choice but to go. I think they're good on gas until they get to the advertised end of this race, but we're about to find out. Chandler Smith's got to be aggressive right here to stay with that 34 truck.
Lane Riggs, the leader. He's led the most laps today. Green flag in the air once again. Ty Majeski is there.
Yeah, and once again, he doesn't get a very good start. Lane Riggs, Chandler Smith.
Chandler Smith pushing the issue.
Both by that 88 truck.
Look at Tyler Ankrum forcing it up on the outside in that 18 truck.
Caden Honeycutt not giving up right there in 4th. 3 wide behind him.
That's Kaz Grala squeezing in there.
Gio Ruggiero, Tyler Ankrum. What a restart.
Yeah, and you can definitely see in the middle of this pack, it is absolutely wild. 2, 3 wide, all the way from about 10th on back right here.
3 trucks are not as wide as I thought they were. They squeeze into some spaces that I didn't think was possible.
It's go time, boys.
What great racing on these twists and turns. Restarts are crazy.
Teammates up front. Lane Riggs extended that lead for just a brief moment.
Well, you see Honeycutt into the back bumper right there at Majeski. He knew if he let those guys get too far away, he wasn't going to have a chance to race for this win.
Honeycutt into 3rd.
What about 5th place? I said Kaz Grala aggressive on the restart. He's put it in the top 5.
15 around Tanner Gray.
Need to get this truck rolling so we can see this action.
Turn 6 back there. The rest of the field ahead of him. See if he can get it fired up and turned around, and he is moving.
He's on his way. Look at Chandler Smith. Every time we talk about a truck race this season, we talk about 3 guys. Lane Riggs, Caden Honeycutt, and Chandler Smith. And look, there they are.
Chandler is hungry. Got his last win at Daytona, the first race of the season. Meanwhile, his teammate who's leading has gone on to win 3 times.
Well, there's a reason that these are the top 3 guys in the points, right? Like, you come to the truck series, you're going to have to deal with these 3 right now on a consistent basis, whether you're racing for the points championship or a win on a week-to-week basis.
And you know Ty Majeski, he's been fast. He's just had an up-and-down season. He's right there in 4th place. He's tired of hearing about those 3. He wants to break that up.
And he's got to make some ground up, but Ty Majeski does. You see Lane make a little mistake right there off the last corner.
Here they come into turn 1. Chandler Smith clears them.
What great racing this is.
Down the hill into turn 2. Chandler Smith is good, holds off. His teammate Lane Riggs moves into 2nd. Caden Honeycutt right behind him. Ty Majeski, Kaz Grala.
Yeah, and Chandler's got a little bit of a tire advantage on Lane Riggs. You can see the back of Lane's truck just not quite as good as Chandler Smith's truck off the corner. So he's able to just get that throttle down, carry a little bit more roll speed, and I think that some of that is just from that tire advantage, Michael.
There's a lot going on. We saw Tanner Gray stalled on the side of the track. He got that truck rolling, but a spin for the 15 truck.
Jimmy Johnson had contact.
Oh, Jackson
right
Lee into the side of Gray.
Yeah, just got in there a little too far and got into the door of the 15 truck.
Such great racing up front. Meanwhile, there's all kinds of chaos happening behind him.
Yeah, Jimmy's had a couple opportunities to work on those 360s today.
In the Cup car and the truck.
Yeah.
Look at this advantage Chandler's starting to put on them. Caden Honeycutt keeping pace with those top two.
I'm really impressed with him for how hard he hit earlier.
Yeah,
Michael.
remember that?
Well, and he got a little bit lucky, right? He hit those tire barriers instead of hitting the concrete, and that just, it shoved the body in over the tire, and then that fender split above that right rear tire and allowed that fender to push up when the truck would go down. But when he hit the wall, it didn't tear anything up, Mike. He just hit it with the tail of the truck, but the tire barrier really saved that truck. It looks bad on the body, but the suspension and the way that fender broke has allowed Honeycutt to stay in the game.
Through the chicane, first, second, third. Pulling away from fourth. Ty Majeski back there. 4 seconds from the leader.
These front row trucks have just been, they've been good pretty much everywhere that we've gone, Michael, like you were saying earlier. But that's been the case for several years now since this truck team has been around.
Well, these, you know, you just have to, when we are fortunate to get to do the truck series here on Fox, and you get to recognize guys that are just that habit, that you know that are not only going to win truck races, but they're going to win cup races one day. And I would put Lane Riggs on that list. Caden Honeycutt is another guy that you got to think has that future as well. And Chandler Smith is outrunning both them. So what's that say about that young man?
Look at the sun right here, right in the driver's eyes. Sun sets pretty early out here on the West Coast. I believe it's 7:59 local, so a little over an hour from now.
Chandler's not going anywhere.
Let's get an update on Chandler Smith, Josh.
Well, Jamie, remember how frustrated this 38 team was at the timing of that caution. So far, it seemed to have worked out on those fresher tires and that 38 truck just being strong. But Chandler Smith is a guy, when his career started, he really wasn't a road course guy. He struggled at it and didn't like it. When I talked to him earlier today, he said he had to learn this style of racing and embrace it and get to like it. And he attributes a lot of that to his times with Joe Gibbs Racing when he was in the O'Reilly series. That's when he learned what works for him when it comes to this style of racing. He took that with him when he came back to the truck series on front row. They had a great program they built on top of that. Top 5 in both road course races so far this year, and in position to ride this one out and try and get the win, Jamie.
I like it. He went to work. I mean, these kids, they're students of the sport, and you have to be to run at this level.
You will not be successful at any level in NASCAR racing if you don't work at road course racing. And I think the other thing, and we heard Lane Riggs mention it earlier, Joey Hand works for Ford and really helps these guys get what they need on these road courses.
As the leader crosses the line, we've reached our Craftsman. 5 to go. Chandler Smith, I love that shot. Down the hill, Lane Riggs right behind him.
It makes me laugh every time that they go over that bump. And I've watched it all day now, and all three series. And every time they go over that bump like that and jump off the ground, it makes me smile. It's just so cool to watch.
That sounds funny to say, Craftsman 5 to go. You think, oh, we're almost done. That's about 80 turns. It's going to be about 15 miles. There's a lot that can take place in 5 laps.
Are you counting 12 as 1 or 12 as 3?
Oh, that's another great question.
I was just checking.
We're sorting through it.
Yeah.
12A, 12B, or we've heard of 12C.
We did introduce C earlier. And then what's the chicane?
Nothing. He's just the chicane.
This is awesome, no matter what we call these corners. And the action has been, it's lived up to everything else that we're experiencing here at the Naval Base.
Third longest road course we've ever raced at. I quizzed you guys earlier. Do you remember what the
Lane Riggs in the wall down the middle of the straightaway right there.
That shows you how hard he's pushing, just trying to get that angle, sweeping into the corner the best he can. Look at the leader. His right front fenders tore off. Just attacking every corner around this track.
And I think Lane knows he's going to have to use more racetrack. He's going to have to be a little more on edge if he's going to get to the back bumper of that 38 truck and challenge him for this race win. But like you said, Mike, he was trying to get every square inch down the straightaway and just got himself a little bit too far to the right. I don't think there's any anything that's going to harm what he's doing right now, but definitely a mistake.
I'm still not sure he's going to make it on gas. I mean, that's a big stretch from what we heard earlier was the most laps they could run. We'll see. Got to keep that in mind because he's pushing hard now. You can tell by his angle into that corner, scrubbing the wall.
Chandler Smith last pitted on lap 34. Lane Riggs behind him last pitted on 27. Riggs was just the fastest last lap, guys, so not saving a lot here. They feel comfortable, but to your point, Kevin, earlier, if we go into overtime, does he have enough?
Well, if he's going to win this race, he can't save anything because Chandler Smith is in a position to go all out. So he has no choice at this point. And Honeycutt, his truck has not really been the best truck all day. It would take off 4 or 5, laps that were pretty good, and then it would kind of start to fade compared to Chandler Smith and Riggs.
Oh, big
Caution
contact.
is out once again. Tyler Ankrum hard into the wall. He was running
Same spot.
top 5, moved that whole barrier.
Yeah, off the last corner, turn 16, where we saw Uncle Jamie wreck earlier.
That has seen the most
Oh, my
action
gosh,
today. That is destroyed.
It has torn the whole side off of that truck, Michael.
That's incredible. By the way, Uncle Jamie was just in the booth here for a minute, and we asked him if he was okay, and he said it was a hard hit, but he was feeling all right. But look at that concrete just busted right out of the way.
Look at the chunks taken out, that concrete wall.
Yeah, and as troublesome as that spot has been today, it's almost like you're going to need to put another barrier behind those barriers so that doesn't happen again. You're almost going to have to double up. They're going to hit it for the next 2 days as well.
Here's what happened to Tyler Ankrum.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
just a little bit wide. There's a ton of marbles right there off of turn 16, the last corner on the racetrack. If you get just a little bit offline right there, that's what's going to happen every time.
And then Majeski, he was closing in on Majeski right here, as you can see, and you lose your line of sight a bit.
He just hit that bump. Did you see that bump in the middle of the corner, Mike? And it got it offline. That's what we've seen so many of them do today. Over that bump right there, just you hit it wrong and it gets you offline. And there is no grip over there offline.
Well, and we also have to think about, we talked about NASCAR overtime. Ankrum getting this, NASCAR is working feverishly to get this truck pulled away, but they're going to have to fix the wall. So if they don't red flag it, we could go into overtime.
Yeah.
They are going to red flag it, we're being told. So they can repair that wall for the second time today.
Well, we've seen a little bit of everything, and now we can add a red flag to the list of events that have taken place.
It'll be interesting to see what has happened with that barrier for it to come apart. You see that those two hoops that metal rod runs through that's supposed to keep them all together. That makes me think that the other barrier is broke. But I'm just guessing.
There's some stories that have developed in the top 10 with Ankrum crashing. Christian Eckes, we saw him crash pretty heavily in practice. He's up in the top 10. Landon Lewis has rallied from a couple of slips and slides. He's in the top 10.
And Ben Rhodes, he's been all over the place.
He has. He had a couple of wrecks. And then just outside the top 10, Kaz Grala is there. And then the first Ram in the running order is Justin Haley. He's 12th.
So the cleanup crew, our course workers, taking a hard look at these barriers. See if they need to replace them or if they can repair them quickly. So while we remain here under a red flag, been a lot of action up to this point. Just 4 laps to go. We're going to step aside. We'll be back after repair for that incident. Naval Base San Diego, one of 3 bases in the area, established back in 1922. How about this? How big is it? Over 1,600 land acres and 300 acres of water. Over 36,000 military and civilian personnel. 3,300 right here where we are on the Naval Base Coronado. And you see there's a lot of residential here on this small island as well. A lot of hotels out there, and just beyond, you see those hills? That is Mexico. The border's about 10 miles from here. Imperial Beach. You see any of the movies about Navy SEALs and them rolling in the sand and swimming? That's right out there on that beach. Hell Week, it all takes place right out there. So 4 laps to go here. We're under a red flag. Let's hear from our leader's crew chief, Josh.
Yeah, standing by with John Leonard. So your driver's out front, 4 to go. The biggest battle seems to be with your teammate in the 34 of Lane Riggs. So what are you telling your driver about what you need to take this thing home?
Yeah, honestly, he's been really good all day. He's drove from the back to the front, a couple times, and honestly, it's in his hands, right? He's the best driver out there. He got some of the best trucks, the front row trucks. We brought a couple new trucks here today, and I feel like they've really showed out. So props to everybody at the shop and everybody that puts their hands on these things. You can tell they're good pieces today.
Good luck the rest of the way. Amanda?
Yes.
Hey, Josh, yeah, standing by next to Ron Hornaday. We got him down from the perch up there, and he said, why you want to talk to me? I said, you're a legend, and a legend that's been working with Landon Lewis since he was 11 years old. He started at the rear of this pack today from hitting the wall and qualifying, currently running up in the top 10. What will you say to Landon after this race?
I can't say nothing. He's doing a good job. We started from the back 2 or 3 times already, but the yellow flag's not playing in our standards, I should say. We pitted and put tires on. We're the ones that probably got the freshest tires, but the yellow is not helping. Everybody's going to make it on fuel. I thought everybody's going to at least have to pit one more time, but they're not.
What would you be able to do with a track like this?
I've been fortunate enough to go to Mexico and Japan and stuff like that, but to do something like this is pretty darn cool. This is, I like to see the pictures of the trucks next to the ship on the back straightaway and everything. It's just awesome for the Navy and our military to let us do this. It's pretty cool.
And what's tomorrow?
I don't know. Another day for me. I guess it's my birthday, they say, but we'll be flying, so it's all right. Maybe they'll have a birthday cake on the plane. I don't know.
A legendary birthday at that, guys.
Happy birthday, Ron Hornaday. You know a little something about that man right there. Kevin, you guys go way back.
We do go way back. We raced on the West Coast together. Actually slept on his couch for a while when I first moved to North Carolina. And Ron's been so instrumental in so many people's careers, but mine personally, just to help understand the sport, know what I needed to do. And Ron and Lindy have just been so good to everybody. Ron has been a big part of it. His daughter, Candace, actually runs everything that we do on the late model side of things at KHI and on the Cars Tour. So Hornaday family is still very much involved in what we do at KHI.
How about this? Ron Hornaday, one of 3 drivers who won in their 100th start in the Truck Series. Chandler Smith making his 100th start today. Wow. As he leads. That's our stat boys. Great. Oh, guess who was another one of those 3 drivers that won on their 100th start?
Mike?
Kevin Harvick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who knew?
You won at Phoenix in 2009 in your 100th start.
Well, that's
I had
cool.
100 starts in
the truck. It feels like it was 100 years ago.
It was good company.
Yeah.
We'll see if Chandler Smith can hang on to it and become the 4th driver to win in their 100th.
NASCAR sent out the safety guys to make sure everybody inside of those trucks was well hydrated as the repairs continue on the wall. Looks like they're getting it closed up.
This is good. Good little note here. They said all of the wall components are intact, so they're going to lift and reset. So we're not going to replace. Caitlin.
Well, we know this event is all about the military, and I am joined by Zachary Scheckman, who is a Petty Officer First Class, has been in the Navy for 11 years. What's it been like having NASCAR here at your home base?
It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much for the support, and God bless America. That's all I got to say. Thank you so much.
Did you ever think you'd see race cars going around this place? I mean, this is pretty unprecedented.
Oh, I don't know. This is my second tour here. This is just truly incredible. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being here. So we're obviously watching the Craftsman Truck Series race. Is there a driver and team that you would like to see visit Victory Lane here for the first time?
Jimmy Johnson, already saw it, so it was great.
There you go. He's rooting for Jimmy Johnson for the win today. Jamie?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That's going to be an uphill climb from here, but what a show he put on earlier.
He did put on a show. You know what I've learned from the last 2 interviews? We need more sunscreen down there. Caitlin's going to need some sunscreen on her face, and Ron Hornaday is going to need 2 bottles.
Well, to Caitlin's credit, we all showed up about 6:30 this morning, and it was overcast. The marine layer was here, so you sometimes forget about those things.
It's sunny and windy, so for those of us that aren't out in the sun a lot, it creates a sunburn.
I think you got sunburn at SeaWorld yesterday, Kevin.
Let's not talk about my tan.
Great day, great week for many of us down here in San Diego. USS Carl Vinson, one of the greatest backdrops we've seen. Stay with us. We're going to wrap this thing up soon. Welcome back to Naval Base Coronado. Snapshot from San Diego. That was the Hotel del Coronado right up the road. Has a haunted room. Special place, as many of the drivers are staying there with their families this weekend. There she is.
That American flag proudly flying over that hotel.
I might move out now that you told me there's a haunted room.
Got to look it up, Kevin. It's serious.
I'll wait till I'm home.
I lived here for about 6 years. I went to San Diego State University, and that's one of the first stories we learned about. Look at the sailors. They're having a great time. It's like, what? We're on camera? Been out here all day. It was an early day for everyone. We've had all 3 NASCAR series on track.
Well, that's a great view from the top of that ship.
Oh, Jimmy Johnson stalled.
See, they had to tape up his hood. Got him all squared away, and now it won't go.
Stalled. The restart zone there. Here comes the wrecker. They're getting a workout right now. Let's check in with Josh.
And I'm down here with Dylan Capella, the crew chief of the 34 team with Lane Riggs. So first of all, how are you guys on fuel? And then also, what are you telling your driver about how to get around your teammate and take this thing home?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just want to finish this for Front Row Motorsports. They've done a really good job. Everybody at Front Row doing a good job building these road course trucks and having 2 really fast pieces for these superstars to go drive around here. So it's been an awesome event to be a part of. I think we just got to be really smart here on this last restart. There's going to be some chaos, and it might not be the last one. So we're just going to go give it our all here and push for 2 hard laps and see who comes out on top.
And you guys feel good about the fuel you got left?
Yes. Yeah, we'll be all good.
Simple and straight to the point. Appreciate it.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, the great part about Dylan is he's not just a crew chief. He's a racer. He has a late model, and I actually saw him on the entry list next week for our Cars Tour West race that we're having in Monroe, Washington at Evergreen Speedway. We'll all be out there racing next week, and Dylan's on the entry list.
How fun is that?
He's
It's
been in a few
weekend off.
races, yeah.
Yeah, it's a weekend off for the truckers, so Dylan Capella's going racing.
That's right.
That's got to be so helpful for his driver, Lane Riggs.
Oh.
They just speak the same language, right?
Yeah, and that was how it was with Rodney Childers and I. You know, he used to race and understood the cars and the lingo, right? And understands that the driver's going to yell sometimes and be mad and knows what it's like sitting behind the seat. And when you have a crew chief that not only race but is still actively racing, just keeping up with what it's like inside the vehicles and the changes and all the things that you go through as a driver, that is second to none. Good to have because of the fact that they have that real life experience.
Well, Front Row Motorsports right now, 1st and 2nd. He mentioned we just want to finish like that. And they've only done it actually one time before, North Wilkesboro, May of last year. Smith won that race and Riggs was 2nd.
See Riggs working those tires in. You want to make sure that when they say go, you've got all the rubble debris cleaned off your tires. See him shaking that truck up ahead. That's Chandler Smith as they choose the restart lines.
Not a lot of races left in the regular season for the truckers, guys. We are getting there. Here we go, final 6.
I love these 6 races too.
It's only 5 left after this, Michael. Look at that. We're going right to another road course in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I love that they're going back-to-back road courses. Lime Rock, a great place to race. North Wilkesboro, take it to the short track. All short tracks. 1 road course and all the short tracks left on the schedule before we get to the chase for the championship.
I sure do love going to New Hampshire. I mean, that's just a lot of great race fans up in that part of the country. The trucks put on an awesome show there.
Especially this time of year.
Yes.
Weather's always beautiful up there this time of year. I don't know that you're going to be able to top this, but it'll be nice in New Hampshire.
I mean, what's this going to mean? Whoever ends up victorious and taking home that trophy, what a big win. What a big day to be the first winner at this event in front of all these sailors, 3,300 of them on this base alone.
It's just, it'd be incredible. It would have to be, like I said earlier, trading a Daytona trophy would be a hard thing to do, but darn, this is an inaugural event at this beautiful facility. This would be one of the best trophies in NASCAR to win. Whether it's today, tomorrow, or the next day, these guys will cherish getting a victory here. Now we just got to see if we can run a couple laps without running each other off the road.
It's so wild to me, Mike, that every time that we get back under caution and you see just the dust still flying off of these things, it's like it never cleans up.
A lot of sand out there as well, obviously being right next to the water. Hard to clean it all up. All right, guys, here we go. It'll be 2 to go. Chandler Smith on the right side. Lane Riggs, his teammate, on the outside. Green flag is in the air.
Nice jump there by Chandler.
Yeah, and you see Honeycutt right on the bumper of Chandler Smith trying to push him along.
He's not done with this, guys. He's been through a lot today, Honeycutt in second.
Into the wall. Honeycutt got into the wall right there.
About the 3rd time we've seen that happen today.
Look at all those trucks fanning out, aggressively going toward.
Oh, Ben Rhodes locks him up. Andres Perez gets a piece of it. Kligerman gets a piece of it. Somebody else is around the 76 and Nicholson as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we can get those trucks fired back up and how much debris is still on that racetrack right there.
Look at Lane. He's all the way back to 4th. That's Tyler Reif in the 42 that got around him.
Honeycutt's right there.
And this has really been where Honeycutt's truck has been the best, are these short runs, 3 or 4 laps on these short runs.
So this is back 10th, 11th, 12th.
Ben Rhodes.
Where the most
got
damage
wide,
happened.
and when he pulled back on the track, it just caused chaos, and now the caution is out. We weren't able to make those 2 laps I talked about, Kevin.
Well, and that's gonna start putting some pressure on these guys that don't have the same amount of fuel that Chandler Smith has.
You saw there when Ben came back on the road, it just kept everybody, squeezed everyone together. And Nicholson was the only truck that couldn't drive off.
Yeah, and there's some debris, big pieces of debris right there behind Nicholson's truck. Looks like a crush panel. That truck has hit the wall pretty hard on the left side.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, he was having a great run.
Great day. So I think that the count is at just 5 trucks that have not been involved in something today, whether it was practice, qualifying, and off he goes.
Got him rolling. That's a good sign.
Yeah, just couldn't get the starter to work right there. Gave him a little push and bump started that thing, and off he goes.
Craftsman Truck Series overtime, boys.
Well, we kind of figured that might be the case. And
going into the race, you knew it, Michael.
I just have to say this fuel is not, it's not over. The fuel could become a factor because restart after restart, I mean, I don't care how many caution laps you have, eventually you're going to use all your gas.
Right.
Lane Riggs, it's been 21 laps since he last came down pit road. We've had a red flag. We've had a lot of caution laps. A lot of question marks still to go, but this one's certainly not over. We're going to go overtime after this. There's been some incredible last lap passes this season alone, guys. 4 of them to be exact. Look at this at Daytona.
Can you believe they're running 185 miles an hour, 4 wide at Daytona, and they don't crash? What a season we've had. The truckers have been on it this year, I'm telling you.
Time included in that one. There he is, involved in a couple of these.
Lane Riggs around the outside. Look at that.
You see Lane Riggs, Chandler Smith, and Corey Heim in pretty much every video that we just played as we talk about those last lap passes.
Well, the only reason why Corey Heim isn't in this last lap video is because he's not racing, because that's how good he is. Every time he gets in a truck, he's right there.
He's racing on Sunday, though, and boy, did he look good earlier today in practice. So Chandler Smith continues to lead here. Let's listen in on his radio.
Yeah, you literally can't see nothing once you come off the turn 3. And it's like that all the way to turn 8. Tell them I'm saying they should just call it right now.
That's what Chandler was saying. Would you tell him to call it right now? You know what's interesting, Jamie? He says you can't see nothing, and they're going to go right from turn 3 to 8 and not run into any, well, they might run into each other, but it won't be because they couldn't see. It's going to be because they're just aggressive.
And you have to find things that are different, that are not directly looking into the sun, right? Like you have to look at a different wall or a different marker, or have a different reference than what you normally do, because these are the things that we're learning about this track. We haven't been here before, so when you get to a certain time, whatever time it is, 7:12 right now, you know that you need some tape on the window, but they didn't start with any tape on the window. Didn't think that was going to be a problem.
So we're told pit road is open, and Lane Riggs may be a taker.
No way.
We've been talking about the fuel situation. There's chatter.
Where is Lane Riggs?
He's right behind Rife in the 42. He got past there.
Riggs back in 4th.
There's no...
He must have...
Let's see.
He must have tried to get his gap too big, and what'll happen is...
Nope, he went by. We've got another taker there, but Lane Riggs stays out.
I think that's Christian Eckes in the 91 that came to pit road. We talked about how good of a day it's been for Christian.
Yeah, and going back to the Lane Riggs thing, I would assume what happened is he didn't keep his gap under the caution, or did Rife get by him?
He got by him on the last restart.
Okay. I'm a little behind, Mike.
That's okay. We've been here a long time, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's been a long day, boys, but gosh, it's been fun. We have. Let's listen to Lane Riggs' radio.
Shake it around a couple times. If it sputters or if you see it dropping, we're pitting right here, and we're going to put tires on it. Hold to 60. Okay, keep saving, keep saving, keep saving.
Well, I don't want to say I told you so, but about an hour ago I said this fuel thing isn't over. It was too big of a stretch, and we knew that the overtime was probably going to be a part of our future, and here we are.
So NASCAR overtime. Just a reminder what the rules are here. Should go green next time by. It'll be a 2-lap shootout. If the leader takes the white flag, next flag will end the race, whether that's under caution or checkered flag. Caution before the white, of course. We'll re-rack them, and we'll try it again. Now, we do have about 30 minutes before adverse conditions time comes into play. I don't think we're going to get there, so I'm not even going to talk about what that means.
I don't know, Jamie. We hit another barrier like we just did. have to move them back around. You never know.
We're trying to bust out of this place.
Those barriers out of turn 16 have had a workout today.
And we saw that early this morning in practice, the first scrape into it, and it just hasn't really changed much since then.
Can you believe practice was at 9 o'clock this morning? It's been a long day, a very eventful day. All 3 series have been on track. Yeah, so let's look back at turn 16 we were just talking about, and all the hits from practice, qualifying. Ben Rhodes started it all, and Connor Mozak. Justin Marks.
Oh, that's a big one for Jamie Mack.
Oh, Tyler Ankrum just ripped off the whole right side of his truck there and moved the barriers out. Hats off to the cleanup crew. The track crew has done an incredible job trying to get us back and going as quickly as possible.
And you know, that's what I think is so interesting about racing. We walked the track, and everybody was talking about different points on the racetrack that were going to be difficult, that were going to be challenging, and all the track is. But we didn't really harp on turn 16 like that. Like, we didn't say that that was a big deal. And I'll be darned.
It's a big deal.
It's the one that's got the most teeth.
Yeah, and I think that bump in the middle of turn 16, just Tyler Ankrum didn't really do much wrong right there, but that truck bounced a little bit wrong, got him up out of the groove and into the fence. So I was serious about putting another barrier back there because they're going to hit it for 2 more days. Need to double that thing up.
We're choosing our restart lane. We're going to re-rack it and try to run a couple laps.
This is going to be good. Chandler Smith, Caden Honeycutt, Tyler Reif in the 42. Las Vegas native, 19 years old.
He's doing a great job.
I
love it when kids show up and you just know they understand it, they get it. He's put himself in a great position here late.
The 6th start this year.
Justin Haley's got his Ram up inside the top 10. Good run for him again. Yeah, this fuel thing's going to raise its head.
Best finish for Ram this year, guys, of the 5 trucks every week has been 6th, and it was at the last road course at Watkins Glen by A.J. Allmendinger. See if Justin Haley could better that. He's in 7th right now.
The rotating pace trucks has thrown me for a loop today.
I've never noticed this, but you said at Chicago they did the same thing.
Yeah, well, they have multiple pace trucks, but I don't know about different brands all the time.
Yeah, that was something new. This is the 3rd different OEM that we've seen represented. Equal opportunity on the naval base.
Here we go.
Through the chicane. Can we make it to the end without another caution?
I think we will.
Either way, if we do or don't, it's going to get aggressive.
Look at the squeeze job there.
Here we go. NASCAR overtime at Naval Base Coronado.
Yeah, it looked like Honeycutt right there smoked the back tires, but he was able to get a push from Lane Riggs, and he's got the jump right now.
Advantage. Caden Honeycutt in a wreck. Around goes the 38 Chandler Smith into the wall after turn 1.
He's got it going.
Can't tell if Honeycutt was able to keep it straight.
Look at Lane Riggs.
Daniel Hemrick in the 19.
Daniel Hemrick.
They all got shuffled there. This is the battle up front.
Reif is right there in 3rd, looking these 2 leaders over. Can he make a move?
Caden Honeycutt got shuffled way back. This is the lead, the battle for it, and Daniel Hemrick for the first time today leads here.
Remember in practice this morning, him apologizing for making a mistake and putting that truck in the wall? He's got a lot of heat on him right now, though.
Here comes Lane Riggs, taking a look to the inside, and he gets the advantage. Look at the 42. Tyler Reif hanging in there with him in 3rd.
Kaz Grala off the wall, running in the top 5. Dive job.
Landon Lewis in the 45 was outside the top 10, I feel like, for the first half of this race, guys. Here he is battling for the win.
Yeah, and Daniel Hemrick is back around Lane Riggs right here. Lane must have made a mistake, and Hemrick is right there. Banging fenders. Here comes Reif.
Maybe that 34 truck stumbled, too. We know he's low on fuel. Look at Reif.
The 19-year-old driving for Nice Motorsports, side by side. Somebody's radio says they're out of fuel.
Yeah, that's the Riggs radio, but that truck is back up and running. These 2 leaders, Daniel Hemrick and Tyler Reif, door to door.
One of the best paint schemes here on the naval base.
Look at the crossover.
Out front, leading.
It's gonna make it.
Riggs saying he's going to make it. They're going to see the white flag. He saves it from a wreck. Contact up front. Lane Riggs is trying to capitalize. 3 wide. Here comes Landon Lewis, the 62. Kaz Grala is in there.
Wow is all I could say. What action. Reif is driving away right now.
White flag, guys. 1 lap to go. The next flag will end it.
Yeah, that Reif truck has got a major tire rub on that left rear right there.
There is
so much smoke. It's going to be interesting to see if he can make it all the way back.
What a drive for Tyler Reif.
Kaz Grala's up, challenging for the 3rd position.
And Lane Riggs is right back on the back bumper of Tyler Reif as we go down towards turn 4.
Said it was sputtering just a lap ago, Kevin. Can he hang on? What an upset this would be if this young man, Tyler Reif, in just his 7th career start, could pull this off.
This is amazing. Watching this kid get it done here late, but Lane Riggs is right there.
Yeah, we've seen Tyler Reif on the ARCA West and Cars Tour, so many different series, so much experience up until this point. Not a lot in this truck, though.
And he told me all the eggs are in this basket, running part-time here in the 42. He has to make the most of every single opportunity to prove he belongs. And right now, a terrible fender rub, and he is holding off Lane Riggs.
Look at that camouflage paint scheme. Owner Al Neese, the veteran. It's got to feel so good for him right now if he can pull this off.
The Navy veteran, his owner trained right here, Naval Base Coronado. Look at this battle up front. This is how the race started. So much action as they come through turn 12.
Right on the back bumper, you see Lane Riggs give him a shot right there.
It's been a while for Nice Motorsports. 51 races since they went to victory lane. Can they do it today?
Will Lane Riggs use that bumper?
Coming through turn 15. Look at the crew cheering him on.
Oh, he missed the corner.
Reif missed the corner, cuts the course through the chicane.
Yeah,
Lane Riggs around him. He has to come to a stop because he cut the course.
Yeah, now can Lane Riggs make it all the way back to the start finish?
Things have changed. Lane Riggs wins it at Naval Base Coronado with 2 turns to go. He gets it done.
That was wild.
Crazy finish.
Let's go, baby. You are the man.
How did he make that last? He was sputtering with a lap and a half to go. Wow.
Yeah,
Last lap.
Tyler Reif was in control of that race and just made an error right there, getting into the chicane.
We just saw a video of 4 crazy last lap finishes in 2026. Add this one to the list, the 5th.
We'll talk about that one for a while.
That's got to feel so good winning here at Naval Base Coronado for Lane Riggs.
And that all started when Caden Honeycutt and Chandler Smith had that contact off of turn 2, put Honeycutt in a bad spot and knocked him back. Chandler Smith spun out, and then it came down to Reif and Riggs that just put on an absolute show there at the end.
And you know, you got to give it up to Lane Riggs. He was having problems with his engine. It was stumbling, but he kept the pressure on, kept Reif heated up, and forced Reif into a mistake.
Lane Riggs wins for the 4th time this season. Gosh, that was a hard-earned victory. So let's take a look at that final restart that kicked off everything and the changing of events. Look at, we have very unhappy drivers right there after that turn of events. Here it is, guys.
Yeah, and you saw Honeycutt get into the outside fence right there, and Chandler Smith just trying to avoid him and spun out. Contact with the wall.
Big contact there.
Yeah, and that's just, Honeycutt just made a mistake right there. At the time, I didn't know if Chandler Smith got into him or not, but he just got wide and smacked the outside fence, so that's on him.
Then we thought Daniel Hemrick was going to win this thing, took the lead, and then Tyler Reif up front and leading down to the chicane right before turn 16 when everything slipped through his fingers.
Yeah, and Lane Riggs is still out there doing burnouts, so there's still some gas in that tank, Mike.
I thought it stumbled, and you heard him report that it did because he just lost so much ground, and then somehow it picked up enough fuel to get to the checker. How cool is that?
He was so fired up, Michael. We heard from him this morning just about racing here. You know, how much fun and how in awe he was of the backdrop and what they get to do here. They can't believe it.
We are all that way, Jamie. It's just been such a special day for the trucks. Winning here at the Naval Base for that. Look at the duct tape on the side of the truck from contact early in the day. Wall marks all down the side.
Taking a victory lap. Well, they sure treated the sailors to a heck of a show today.
That was a show.
You got that right. As good as it gets.
Lane Riggs extends that point lead over Caden Honeycutt after that mistake. 65 points separate the two of them.
Listen to some of those names in the top 10. Brendan Queen, we saw him with the troubles early. Justin Haley, 6th place in his Ram. Landon Lewis, good job, Harv, that's your guy. Right up in the top 5.
Kaz Gralla in 3rd.
Yes.
I mean, just
great effort.
So many guys that had trouble in practice come back to have a great finish.
How great is this? He made it all the way around to greet his team. Enough gas for that burnout.
Ugh.
We heard from his crew chief, Dylan Capello, the racer he talked about. He gets the win here, and he's going up to race in the Cars Tour next week.
Well, they've been a great combination, and when you look at crew chief driver pairings, that's what you want. You want that chemistry. As you see Lane Riggs climb out of that truck in victory on the start-finish line.
Special young man right there. Great talent. Taking in the following the footsteps of his father.
3rd win in the last 4 weeks. What a finish. Our winner is ready to talk. Let's hear from Caitlin.
That's right, Jamie. Lane Riggs will forever be the first race winner here at Coronado. Lane, what does it mean to you to know your name is going to be in the history books for NASCAR forever with this win?
Lane Van Rigsbergen came to play today, man. I got my 2nd street course win. We're undefeated at street courses. Hey, much respect, Shane. I wish I could be as good as you one day, man. But I'm going to take all my glory here in the truck series. But thank you to everybody at the end. I don't even know what happened at the end. It's sparks flying, people wrecking, staying in the throttle. I was running out of fuel the entire last lap. It was like St. Pete all over again. Great job with Rife there. You know, I wasn't going to – fate left to scare him, and he missed the corner. I wasn't really going to dive it in there, and it worked for me. So I hate that Chandler got taken out there in the 11. They definitely had it won. They beat us on strategy. We just didn't have the tires, and when we stayed out, because we could make it to the end on fuel, the tires prevailed. Just what a crazy race today with the strategy and everything else. But, yeah, amazing historic win. We got Mattermost on the truck this weekend. Thank you to everybody at Ford Racing. Joey Hand, you the man. We're 2 for 2 on street courses, man. This is awesome. So, yeah, what a historic event. So thank you to everybody that's involved. Hopefully we put on a great race for all the fans that have never seen NAS trucks before.
You talked about how crazy this race was, but your team prevailed. How special is this group of guys that has helped you deliver week in and week out so far this season?
It's great. I mean, it's just we worked so hard. We were close last year, and this year we're just really hitting our stride. I mean, until the last lap to the 38 and the 11 wrecked, I was going to finish 4th or 5th, and it just fell in our lap, which I feel like things rarely fall in our lap in a good way. It's usually on a bad note. So we're using our luck up now. We just got to keep it paced through the season to make sure we have just enough for those last few races.
Congratulations. Enjoy this one. Lane Riggs with a historical win here in San Diego.